tomorrow, well, they'll get their chance to compete for the $1 million prize and the qualifying spots. But first, let's take a look at the format and how they're competing. As we talked about earlier, 10 cumulative placement points up for grabs if you get the victory royale, 7 if you end up in the top 5 to the second place, 5 points for 15th through 6th, and then 3 points for 25th through 16th, and each elimination is also a point. And don't forget, not only the qualifier spots, there's $1 million up for grabs every single week, split across all the regions. And additionally, it's not just for those top places, so go ahead, take a look on the website for how it breaks down, because you might have earned a little bit of money in there. On top of that, for tomorrow, there are qualifying spots up for grabs, 19 total in week 5, 8 in Europe, 6 in NAWest, 2 in the West, Asia, Brazil, and Oceania, all having 1 up there. So we've already seen 41 players go through. There they are from week 1 and week 3, and a lot of great names rolling through there. You see Slaya, Letwick from Gambit, who has already qualified for both. Stompy doing that as well. Lucky, who is top place in Europe last week. Unknown Army being the lone controller player to qualify through, and then a lot of the veterans in there as well. Dementos, Tfue, Funk Bomb, Psalm, all players who are very much so capable of getting it done. As I said, all the other regions have already wrapped up, so Bala, Courage, let's walk through NAWest standings real quick before we get into it. Let's see what they got going on. And again, they've just started getting through mostly 2 to 4 matches played, and some names you've seen before up top.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the top 10 right now. There's a lot of names I don't know. One that I do, O'Makin here, he's been consistent in NAWest Sundown, just completely consistent.
Yep, AU Macon or Gold Macon up there. Also seeing Endo and then Jay as well, previously of Ospreys. You say Eggroll up there, who's made some plays. Xenon as well. Spectro, Dexstar, Mowgli, the Sauce Doctor, or the Sauce Doctor. What a great name. That's fantastic. What kind of sauce are you cooking up over there, man? Like, I really would like to know. But not the only doctor we have going through there and challenging up. I know, fantastic transitions.
Wow.
I wanted to make it for you so bad.
That was really
like,
good.
That's not
I know, you got it. Yeah, you got it.
No, yeah, let him finish his transition.
Oh, wait, yeah.
I know, we're all clapping ahead of time. Trust me, story of my life. Let's take a look here at Dr. Lupo, who we saw have some fantastic games. Didn't require a missed shot counter. So, Dr. Lupo, you even tweeted out that you got that victory out. It was some of the most intense Fortnite gameplay you're going through. Kind of walk us through those moments. What were you feeling in the match, and how did it feel when you saw the victory royale pop up?
A majority of my gameplay at that point, honestly, like having no medium ammo was kind of scary. And so I was sitting at that point on like whatever was in my pocket was what I was going to make a play with. Up until that point, I had avoided as much gameplay related to how Courage would have played it, you know, missing shots, that kind of thing. You'll notice I did hit my shots and got the win, Jack. You should take some notes, bud, when you have a chance to build the stream.
Okay. Wait, Ben,
Question.
I owe you 5 gifted subs, Ben. I don't know if you saw that clip.
No, you do. We watched back through it on stream. Don't worry.
How are you able to do so well with, you know, the arthritis and, you know, like, how, I know your eyes are old, but, like, how do you keep up with all the action, Dr. Lupo?
I could ask you the same thing about your jeans that you bought from Baby Gap, Zeke.
And just like that, Lupo, you have made Zeke walk off the set. He is gone. You got him on that one. I applaud you.
Just keep going. You already made Courage walk off.
I'll take his spot from here, all right? I'll be the sixth person.
So, certainly impressive indeed, Dr. Lupo. I have to ask, where did you finish? How many points did you finish with?
Listen, at a certain point after that very, very easy victory royale, you know, the bonus 10 plus the 6 eliminations, I decided to throw the remainder of the games and only pick up an additional 4. I just didn't want to ruin anybody's chances of qualifying.
Wow.
So I was throwing my body at people and letting them eliminate me. You know, a man of the people is what they say. So, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's teaming. We need to look in the rules stats, because I do not shop at Baby Gap. So we need to check the rules immediately. Stat, that's teaming. You know?
No, it certainly, I like it, you know, making it very clear that if he had really wanted to, he could have tried to press himself and maybe attempted to get through to Sunday. However, I do just want to point out, Courage, the clips we watched of you last week were from Sunday, right? That was the top 3,000, right?
Yeah, those were only the best players in the world, you know what? But my fellow co-caster here on Dr. Lupo made the more mature decision that I did not make. I definitely ruined little Timmy's dreams of going to the Fortnite World Cup when I took a spot last week.
Honestly, ultimately, shout out to Bartnologist for being the strongest person on the planet for carrying Courage.
Yo, he did carry me, bro. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing.
Oh, no.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Lupo. Indeed, Bartnologist, go get yourself a good chiropractor. Lupo, you probably need one as well, from what I've heard. But
Dude, I'm going to take a nap.
Hey, chiropractor and a nap both work, honestly.
It's my third one of the day. Just put it
I
out there.
envy you.
That's where that dad strength certainly comes from, and indeed all of us envious. But thank you so much, Lupo. Always a treat.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Bye, Ben.
Bye, Dad.
In
So nice
fact,
of him.
I know, it was great. Just great being able to catch up with one of our fellow casters, able to commentate on his gameplay. A nice little victory route, but I think I'm about ready. You guys ready?
I'm gonna go.
Ready.
I'm gonna go.
Not NAWest, yeah?
You good? I don't know how we're gonna do this, but guess what? Kitty and I are casting. I think
we're
the
all
games are ready.
going.
We're all
Let's go.
6 of us
We're
are
all going,
casting.
we're all going at once? Is that
Go
right?
ahead. Yeah. I'm
Let's
walking
go.
over.
We're getting the game.
I'm walking over.
Let's
so
go. NAWest is ready.
put the games
We're
on. I'm
getting
already
ready.
over there.
Hopping on in again. Don't forget, top 3,000 advance to tomorrow. We got Courage. We got Kitty. Take it away.
Here, thank you so much, brother.
You?
We are over here. NAWest has begun the final region of the day. Courage joined by Kitty plays, and the action already begun. You saw the leaderboards there. Already a few matches played for these guys. We'll catch up to speed on exactly where they are. Kicking it off right now with Moms. Happy Mother's Day. I like that. His name is normally SS, but he changed it to Moms
Okay,
today.
Courage, you can't say that and not tell them that Mother's Day is tomorrow. Don't worry. The 100 of you that just got really scared
Yep.
about that Happy Mother's Day, you didn't miss it. It's tomorrow. We'll
You
make
have-
sure to remind you tomorrow, so make sure to tune into the final stream. But
Yep.
we are spectating Smoms.
That's probably what a lot of moms want to do. They want to watch Fortnite World Cup with their
That's
kids
exactly.
tomorrow.
What a great idea.
Oh my God,
Invite
guys.
your mom to watch Fortnite together.
Tune on in tomorrow, use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup and hashtag Mother's Day and show how you're watching the Fortnite World Cup with your mom on her big day.
Well, one thing that I would love to see is maybe a photo. If you are competing tomorrow, if we could get some of our top people to
There we
get a
go.
photo with their
There
mom,
we go.
send it into hashtag Fortnite World Cup. I want to go through those just for all those like feel good heart moments.
Yes.
Like especially like tell us the story. Like, does your mom support you playing Fortnite? Like, I want to know about that.
My mom hasn't spoken
My
to me
mom
in
did,
years.
personally did not support me playing other games when I was young,
feel
so now she definitely supports me playing Fortnite.
They love
Thank
to
you,
hear it.
Mom.
Oh my
Ooh,
goodness. Well,
picking up a rift.
yeah, already with
Triple
2
rift.
rifts and more rifts on the ground, you got to think, all right, what's the play here? Well, 6 minis, you want to carry those for sure. 4 big boogie bombs as well. His moms will definitely pop that rift to go. Carry the other 2. There you go. 3 rifts in a game of Fortnite. Pretty darn good, to say the least.
Yeah, great position for him. And he has those 4 boogie bombs. I haven't seen any games where people have utilized that yet. That does knock players out of the ballers. So we haven't really had an issue with a lot of late game ballers anymore. The decrease in health, more players focusing them. There's so many other rotation mechanics now. You don't need to rely on the baller to get into zones.
Yeah,
So.
and then you add in the fact that the drum gun just shreds the baller.
Yes.
It's gotten to a point now where they seem to be less and less impactful, but either way, still quite useful. You see Smoms just setting up as close to this next zone as possible, and that's the benefit of floating and waiting so long. Smoms uses the rift, no one targets, waits until the next zone pops up to then adjust accordingly, and now with near max materials can just begin to lay down fire with the drum gun for anyone who's got to move up this mountain.
Yep, he's going to do as much as he can with the drum gun. Unfortunately, he does not have the assault rifle, but it does not look like it matters.
That shows how good it
Getting
still is.
great tags at that medium range against his opponent, and does get that elimination. It looks like Fives did fall off his building and get eliminated. So that's a nice free little elimination coming up for Moms. Has those 2 rifts. Looks like he's deciding whether or not to use it. Does go for the boogie bomb and lands it. Doesn't to follow up with it.
Yeah, it doesn't actually wind up following up with it. Did get tagged up there for 70 damage, and I think began to panic and just popped the rift just to make sure they could make it there in time. So not using too many materials so far. At that moment, you got to make the decision. It's time to dive on down before the people on the low ground begin to beam on up.
Yeah.
See a couple ballers in play. All Macon, who is in our top 10 players. This is a little bit of the journey of how they wound up getting there.
Yeah, you
As,
can see
now
why.
6
Six eliminations already. 25 left in the lobby. Every single player in this lobby is going to get that elimination. 3 elimination points. Picks up 2 eliminations utilizing that green tactical shotgun. Damn, Courage. He's on a roll right now.
Yeah, he's feeling real good and should probably try to wait and land near this brick. Does see one enemy near there, but that shouldn't deter him too much as he'll land and build up nearby. That first player building right to the high ground with that metal. Nicely done there. That's Metal Storm. And it looks like a lot of people can't actually even reach this height from the launch pad that was just used. So will sit on the high ground, fairly uncontested for the moment. Wise now on your screen does have that legendary heavy sniper. Can he take a shot?
No.
Does whip way off to the left.
Yeah, you need to take a little bit more time on that one. Unfortunate that he did not land that shot, but he does have 1 elimination. Picks up another on Jake, who looks like he was focused on the player going for the edit below him, and does get another one onto Ghost Killer. And these guys are going up the mountain right now. Lots of players having to do a special strategy to make it up the hill, but he does, does make the edit.
Down.
Takes him out on sense.
And now it's going back down. So you're seeing Wise right now kind of spam that aim in right as it's time to shoot that tactical shotgun, getting the spread as tight as possible. That's the main difference between the 2 shotguns that are currently being used. And
I don't think he meant to pick that
accidentally swapped to the wrong weapon.
double tactical shotgun.
Can't dual wield those, unfortunately. 1 player nearby will try to spray on through with that legendary assault rifle. Wise now building on up. 1 player right next to him. Nice tags there. Quick little cleanup. That's Metal Storm getting cut down. 5 elims.
Wow.
Only 6 enemies left.
Yeah, Metal not able to trade any tags onto Wise. Wise now at full health. He does have that chug jug. He is losing his window of time to be able to utilize that. You might see him drop it. Yeah, it's gone. You might see him drop it and opt for something else. And we are watching Mackin now. Absolutely outstanding gameplay. Ooh, quick edit out. Evades the trap, going for the play on this low ground, and he is now the owner of this low ground. Another player makes an edit play on him. Boxes up, has that slurp, looks to use it, does get the toes of Zaggy and gets that elimination and the siphon.
What an interesting end right here, right on the edge of this mountain. Having to crouch just below these builds, trying to break on through. Oh, it's probably so dense though. Trying to make it on up. Okay, does find a little bit of a moment of opportunity to pop the slurp juice. Wow. Again, the slurp juice obviously ticks over time, so does get that elimination. Dropped all the way down to just 10 HP. Slurp kicking, minis being popped. This is great for Olmec, and as the player's still on the high ground, and they're going to begin to fall on down. Jose and Poser, 1 level above. Macon just spraying on in. 1 player begins to drop. Josen has the redeploy. There's the beam. 50 health. Saves his HP by 4 HP. Lives. No! Can't find the final shot. No builds left, and Poser lets him know when to take the L.
Wow, no builds left, but to still have the confidence to try and rein in those shots, getting that siphon elimination, buying in some extra time, almost getting that next elimination. But unfortunately, when you rock the drum gun, that mid-range, you're going to be missing a lot of your shots, and he was just not able to get them all through there.
Not able to get it done in the end right there. You know, when they first introduced materials on elimination, it was one of those things where they actually directly went into your inventory. Well, that's not the case anymore, and it hasn't been that way for a long time. But if that was the case there, it might have saved them. Unfortunately, doesn't wind up working out. Aiden, already 16 points, 2 elims this game. Drum gun in hand. And again, another one of those players who's elected not to use a shotgun, deciding it's no longer kind of worth it to run. Oh, no, not
going
the
for the bludgeon. Not like this.
This is such an awkward fight for Aiden. Aiden drops the trap down, just trying to dodge. Dodges the shots.
Aiden, what a master, using the entire clip of his drum gun, switching to that pickaxe, going for the trap.
I mean, that was one of the ugliest things I've ever seen.
Bobbing and weaving, but somehow pulls it off, even at this point system. Remember, this is everybody that's in the Champions League trying to get into those top 3,000 spots to make it to tomorrow's games for that chance to qualify. We've got 2 spots for West this week. Harmful now, we're spectating him, has opted to go for that redeploy, gets that elimination onto Camden. A lot of these players getting caught off guard and not able to turbo build fast enough against these drum guns.
Yeah, and the thing is the amount of pressure that can rip through those walls with 1 clip of that drum gun forces players to have to burn through so many materials. But also, because of how fast it rips through the structures, if you're being shot from one side and you're building with wood and your backside begins to get broken on through, and you get focused from 2 different areas, it is almost impossible to survive. So we've seen so many times today when someone's trying to build a 1x1 out of wood and they get sprayed from multiple areas, they're just kind of done for if it's two drum guns putting on pressure.
Yeah, 100%. And players know that when they start to see shots raining out by another player, they go right to assist them, focusing them down. So you do not want to be the one on the other end of that, getting really clean shots off, able to pick up that elimination. He is now sitting on 2. We are in a top 33 situation. All these players are going to hang on for as long as they can, try to make into that first placement threshold 25 points.
And look at how smart JMO is, recognizing the weak side of the zone where players who just kind of made it on out are probably weak from what they just experienced. You saw for a brief second there how many players were not only stacked in these 1x1s, but were also not near full HP.
Oh.
He knows that. He's got the legendary infantry rifle, just beaming shots on down. Trev now on your screen does have redeploy for his, kind of one movement option, and is on the close side of the zone. So should begin to edit on through this brick wall and try to spot any enemies he can lay down fire on, like this.
Oh, yes. A nice little keyhole opening there. Gets a clean headshot, pops that shield off his opponent. Now looking to pick up some more. Gets another headshot on unlocalized. Back to the lobby. 5 need to be eliminated for these guys to get that placement point. Frags now looking to make a push. Thankfully, those are his walls.
Wow.
Able to quickly edit through and get this high ground redeployed down and a free walk into the zone. Nobody's going to penalize that.
Yeah, that was well done. Very well done right there by Trev. See JMO on the high ground, does get shot on out. Needs to move quickly to get back into the zone. Down to just 20 HP. And he's got no way of falling. Yep, done for. Done for. The storm winds up taking him out right there. No way. Tried to connect it again. It was either fall to your death or die to the storm.
Yeah.
And it looks like he took his own way out with the storm right there. Aiden still on your screen, building on in one of the best people late game with the controller. Absolutely insane what he's able to do.
Yeah.
As you heard that fact that only one controller player has qualified so far in the solos
And
category.
maybe this weekend we'll see another 2 spots for that US West or NAWest opportunity. Aiden now taking out Foxy Box, getting that siphon up. He does have someone directly behind him trying to make a play, is able to get out of that situation, boxing himself up, has lots of minis to utilize, trying to get them off now, but he's still not going to be in good shape health-wise. Ooh.
Does get the shadow bomb off in time, so this should give him the rotation he needs, but now Aiden's at a point where it's almost necessary to get an elimination. He needs to get something here for that extra health. He's so low on HP that one or two a couple storm ticks is all it takes. So
yeah, he smells blood though. He sees
Brilliant.
the white damage come out on Litzinho, and immediately you see him in pursuit of that player. He needed those materials. He needed that siphon.
Campfire, nice
and a campfire and a redeploy.
Yeah.
Aiden's in great shape now. There's another rotation coming up now towards the southwest, and he is prepared to go. You see him right away making the play. Sees an opponent, rains down that drum gun fire, and is able to break his shield, but not able to secure the elimination.
And if I'm Aiden, I love this meta right now of this drum gun. I'm one of the most aggressive players when it comes down to these brawler-type fights. We've always known that about Aiden, and he's showing just how good he can be right now, but unfortunately that rocket throws him off as he falls on down, gets eliminated right there, just outside the top 10.
Yeah, too bad to see that. He did make it to the top 15 threshold, which does secure him another 2 points towards his total. Now we're spectating Endo, able to secure the 2 eliminations, does have that boom bow. We talked earlier, there is a lower drop rate on this with Season 9. Still has it, doesn't need it though, has the drum gun, gets that elimination onto Prodigy, sitting at 3 eliminations now in that mid-range. Bloom Piece looking to get out of the zone. If he takes 2 tags, he is down and out. You see him in the bottom right corner of your screen. Does have those minis, but that does not matter against Storm Zone. He needs to be very careful not to take any extra damage and hopefully get an elimination trade here so he can get that siphon.
He's all the way down low. On the bottom right of your screen, just 3 eliminations so far, can only build 1 structure. Playing in the ultimate low ground.
Oh, it's coming up on France, USA. Next to him here, Nick drops down, does take that fall damage. Bloom Piece in a 1v1 situation, gets the elimination, gets a siphon, and another elimination onto Kicks. Meanwhile, high ground 1v1 situation, Symmetrical gets taken down by Endo, but huge fall damage coming out down on Endo. Does have the high ground, Piece has the health advantage. Endo needs to make a play here to hopefully get that damage because he knows he is not on the upper hand of health here.
Endo so weak at the moment. Blue Piece, whoa, gets snuck up on. Endo drops in from the backside of the zone. You saw Bloom Piece was trying to expand on out. Endo, quick thinking right there, drops in for the quick elimination. But wow, the fact that Bloom Piece even made it that far 2 eliminations with the drum gun spray on the low ground. Drum gun sprays one player up on the high ground and nearly drops Endo to his death as well. Unfortunately, though, can't get that final elim. And that's a 4-point swing, Kitty. That's something there. Today,
Definitely.
if he still qualifies, great. But tomorrow, a 4-point swing we've seen is literally all the difference in those final standings.
4-point swing, 1-point swing. It's been absolutely insane how close these points have been. Now we're spectating Cold, who in a lobby of 33 left already has 6 eliminations.
Yeah, solid start. I think the biggest thing to take away right now is the amount of assault rifle ammo. 439 in that drum gun. And the heavy sniper to kind of enter on into any box that he so pleases.
Oh,
Spidey not paying attention up top.
Not like this.
Gets snuck up on, and beautiful job from Cold right there.
Yeah.
Immediately recognizing that someone's trying to land on height and resecures it for the moment to begin to continue to lay down damage.
Yeah, really clean building. Doesn't have the ultimate high ground, but is boxing up from the high ground, looking to take shots on the low. And we do have Jay Cuddy in this lobby. Let's go and take a look at what he's been up to this game, what kind of loadout he's sitting with. But actually, we're just going to go right on passive, see what else we got, because look how many more players there are in this lobby. This is huge. These guys are sitting at 18 points right now, but these are the head of the field. We're still about 3/4 of the way through North America West.
Yep.
And they're just playing their hearts out right now. Actually, we got the time right now. We got an hour and 30 minutes
halfway
left
there
for these players to reach that top 3,000 mark. That point level changes constantly, so you just want to play your heart out. You don't want to get passed by the other players, so you want to make it for a chance to win tomorrow. Those 2 spots.
Oh, for sure. Those 2 spots, so key to get. Kit right now, using the Ghoul Tupa, as Cloaksy would say, sat on up with that combat shotgun. Not really the best weaponry, I'm going to be quite honest with you. No drum gun. Only an uncommon, heavy assault rifle, and the weakest version of that combat shotgun. What exactly can he do right now is Kiet just sitting up top.
Is it Kiet or Kiet? Do we know?
Kiet.
Well, we'll have to correct this on
Kiet.
Twitter.
Might be Kiet.
Yeah.
Kiet like Riot.
Kiet like Riot, yeah. But good to see. Well, even with this loadout courage, he's still able to secure 2 eliminations and a third right now. We talked about this earlier. Pros' abilities to take advantage of whatever the map gives them is exactly why you see these players succeed. Sometimes they're going to drop and you're not going to get the loadout that you're comfortable with. You're not going to get the current meta, but what you're able to do with that is going to decide whether you're going to make it into these late games.
Do you see what glider he was using? It's the new Season 9 Victory Royale glider.
Oh,
there it is
wow.
again.
He got a win. Oh,
He got a win. Congratulations. Wow. Camden. Is it Camden or Camden?
His pub practice.
See?
Whoa.
It's all about. And there's the Fry with this rare drum gun. Another player just above. Recognizes that he's got to fall on down for the moment. Can't tunnel vision too hard. We've seen even the best of players sometimes tunnel vision a little bit too much, and it costs them the game.
I really like this loadout. Camden having that silenced SMG and the drum gun and the blue tack with those bandages and 2 minis to boot. He's in a great position to pick up some more eliminations. Does get that tack shotgun onto Kiet, who we were just spectating. Didn't have the loadout of his dreams. Isn't able to secure that elimination. But now we've got Cold on that high ground, raining down fire. But he's got to move. The zone is moving. All these players need to get totally new positioning from before. Is able to reutilize a jump pad from before, which is great for him. Cold sitting on 7 eliminations right now.
Yeah, just slowly floating on up, deciding, hey, let's land top of this brick. Immediately builds the metal. Still 89 total builds remaining. With this drum gun too, 338 shots. Remember when I talked about the 400 ammo from earlier?
Did you see that?
Yeah, one player did just miss. Wardo gets cut down there by Cold's drum gun. How about another as he's going to continue to spray on down? 320 shots left. People trying to land on this high ground.
Yeah, he does not want them stealing that from him right now. But there's an ultimate high ground.
Someone landed
he
in zone.
He was able to connect with old build and make a little high base for himself. That step bro smile on that ultimate high ground. Das God, looking to get positioning on him. Cold now in a 1v1 situation, able to burn right through, take out Zaletta, and now using that jump pad, he wants that high ground, but just is gonna miss it. Now isn't able to connect. Is just barely able to connect onto his old build. Another player contesting for him there.
Just dodges that trap, but still gets hit by a really clean pump shot. Down to just 39 HP. Challenges this 150 plus health player.
Oh, I love these plays to hop off the edge,
Yep.
boxes him in. Cam Dian goes down to the storm, but he is getting pressure from that ultimate high ground. Smile on that high ground. Jay Cuddy on the low. Frosty has clout as well. This is a top four situation. That top 3 does grant you those extra placement points. These guys are hungry.
Yeah, trying to stay alive right now.
Look at these
Smile
two
on that height.
perspectives. Frosty with 0 eliminations, Cold with 10.
Yeah, and Cold's tunnel visioning on more, it seems like. Already 34 points so far. Definitely one of the top performers from NAWest up to this point. Smile, staying on that super high ground. Cold's gonna shoot him on down and now
They're
spray
going
with the drum
up.
gun. As that
Smile.
redeploy is just so
What
slow.
was that? Was he out of resources? Why was that his play? He already had ultimate high ground, and the next zone is on the ultimate high.
I think the
Cold
drum gun.
and
I think the
Frosty
drum
need
gun.
to make that play.
He was either out of resources or the drum gun just caught him off guard with how fast he can get shot down. And look at this,
Wow.
trying to scale the edge of the mountain.
Yeah.
Frosty getting hit by this zone. All Cold needs to do is build on out.
Oh, Cold even able to land that last shot on him. Make
Yep.
sure he gets that extra elimination. We were just talking about this. Every point matters, but Cold coming out with
22-point game.
22 points.
And literally the
Wow.
second we looked at him, we saw exactly what the inventory was. All that drum gun ammunition.
Yeah.
It just lets you put
I think
so
he
much
used
pressure on late
all
game.
600 of it.
Yeah, probably. Or
Picked up some more,
pretty
used
darn
a little
close.
bit more.
If you were near him right there, all you heard was the sound of the drum gun firing. Into our next game, Rex right now, 0 LMs. Total of about 139 health.
Looking
Or
has a
41
little bit of a
health.
prey on the other side, looking
Yeah.
to make a play. Oh, goes for the opposite way.
Ooh, okay, little bars.
Bars.
Probably stop there before we end up on live stream fails. As now Rex, will again peek on out for a brief moment. 370 metal left. As now he'll drop on down the side of this mountain. A lot of players now realize that you could slide down all these super steep slopes and not actually take any fall damage. So where people used to panic build a couple walls, no longer needed in Fortnite currently. A look at Rex, just gets in and happy with the 1x1. Will hold the pyramid edit to look at people who are pushing on the same route he just took.
Makes the edit. Doesn't go for the shots though. If you guys are just joining us right now, we are catching all of the top point lobby games of NAWest right now. And coming in on that last 5th zone. Oh, coming in on Nikoi. Looks like he was in a 1v1 takeover edit situation with his opponent. Does get that, steal that elimination, but isn't able to secure the second one. Picks up these resources, which is much needed. He's now sitting on 99 total possible builds. Does go for the edit play, but his opponent's long gone right now.
I like this. Falling on back for the moment. Does realize the zone is going to go back. And did that ball just appear in his box, or was that there?
Oh,
it was! Yeah, a ball's in there! I knew it! A ball appeared in there! It was Lucy, and I can't even tell. I mean, there must have been an opening.
That ball play, that was
Oh my goodness.
very, very interesting coming out by that player. Now we're spectating Gosh. He does have both of those shadow bombs. Looks like he's looking to make a play, and a lot of these players have already realized that when you edit a door, your ghost form can interact with that door. So a lot of players are looking to make that edit before they pop that ghost, because we've seen a lot of players that are getting themselves stuck in their 1x1s when they're popping that ghost.
Oh yeah.
Oh!
The boom bow is a decent weapon. Just want to give everyone that little bit of insight.
It's so satisfying to watch these players get those eliminations with it too.
Here it is from Gosh. Breaking on out, trying to scale the side of this mountain. It's so tough to scale when you're going vertical, just directly at it. You almost want to hit it from your side so your character kind of stays parallel with it on the way up. I now use parallel and perpendicular day in the broadcast. I'm an absolute fiend.
Absolutely.
In the world of geometry. I don't even know if geometry applies. I'm gonna be honest.
Geometry. But
Mr.
we'll give it to
Kleinfelder
you,
from my 9th grade math. I'm sorry.
You can have that one.
I'm sorry. Butter.
Oh, butter, butter, butter. We've heard a lot about butter.
Second time I've seen him today. First time I saw him was on my pasta I had earlier. Spraying on down at one player on the other side of the zone. Does break his shields. 13 players remaining. So more placement points earned. 3 shadow bombs still available too. Not a ton of AR ammo. I'm sure Butter knows this. As that's Parmesan he's fighting. Oh, just kidding. Gosh.
That is Gosh of the Gold Clan. Does pick up that eliminations. Now sitting on 2. This is a top 5 situation. These guys have secured the top 25 placement points and the top 15 placement points. Now they're looking for the top 3 and the victory royale.
Yep, it's Butter.
Butter.
Peeking on out.
Yeah, he does catch himself in the center of the zone here, looking to take any shots he can on the players around him. You got youngster down below, is very low health. It'll be interesting if he's able to take a couple shots on him.
The spray, did hear the player drop, so he's like, okay, that's not going to wind up getting converted.
Ooh,
nice quick edit there, big shield on the ground.
No, dodges the loot. Chooses not to go for it. He's happy with his loadout right now.
Yeah, sometimes again, in the heat of these moments, you just go for whatever the best route is. One player on the other side of the wall, great edit, realizing Viking wasn't actually facing him. No mats left, and you know, I would be the first to expect that too, with how Viking was playing. Triggy all the way on the high ground, a name we've seen a lot in Fortnite competitive in the Fortnite World Cup so far. They're spraying on down with the heavy assault rifle.
Yeah, Hansel as well on that mid ground. Pamsy and Butter on this low ground looking for an engagement. Pamsy caught in the middle between these two. Butter able to pick up that elimination. Now we're in a top 4 situation. Triggy is just hanging up on that top ground. He doesn't have to do a lot of building because he was going back on his resources, but now he's going to have to make a decision. 4 builds left. Looking for a play down onto the lower ground. Luckily, one of his teammates, or not teammates, opponents, is blanketing below him, is able to drop down onto Hansel's build. Butter and Hansel in this mid ground, none opting for that low ground. Such a close situation right now.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If Triggy had the ammo he needed for this, he could keep spraying and actually get the free eliminations on these guys. There's one. Not much ammo left. The final spray down coming on in. Butter gliding all around. The shotgun whips, and that's not enough in the end. Triggy, 4 limbs victory royale, and gets it done in the end. Brilliant games to kick off NAWest here with Kitty Plays, but some of our fellow co-casters want to hop on in for a brief moment to catch us up to speed. It's Sundown with Bala.
Thank you so much, Courage and Kitty, and a great start to NAWest. Some familiar names, some names on the rise, and some great individual efforts and execution, which Bala is going to break down for us. What do you got?
Yeah, these were some excellent starting games, and we hopped into literally the first game for some of these players. And first off, AU Mackin, I think this was his first game. Look at his 5 points right now. I love how he hides himself after he takes those initial shots, because you don't necessarily always know exactly where the players are. And then this is him fighting on the edge. Actually, he's going to manage to find not only the eliminations, but somebody riffs him as well. And this is going to be key, because now he realizes, hey, look actually where the rift brings him. He's right at the top of the mountain right there, right on top of the pressure plant. And then he ends up fighting in a box. We'll talk about box fighting, but look at that speed of that edit. As soon as that trap went in, he immediately edited down and quickly realized what the situation was down below. Here, he forces his opponent directly into an awkward little elevation shift. This mountain, very difficult to make your way through. We saw him struggle to get out even. But then following it up, Couch Zero goes down. And the ending of this game was crazy to me. I thought he actually was about to pull it off. He knocks it out, opts to stay in the zone on top of the volcano edges. And he's going to try to find a shot, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to find it. This player boxes up, and that's the end of AU Mackin's run there. But this Aiden is, I feel like the drum gun edition is a literal buff to Aiden, especially in these close quarters combat. And it's so crazy to me. You can see how much he's trying to get this player under his stairs to place this trap. And look at the footsies. Look how he's just kind of ringing, like going around and around. He actually placed that trap behind the player so he wouldn't be able to break it. Perfect there. Now Endo. This is another one of those clips where I'm just like, wow, these players are so good close range. The tactical actually breaks that wall there. That wouldn't happen with the pump shotgun or the combat shotgun. Just breaks that wall through so he doesn't actually take the trap damage, but then landing on the cone as well. If he didn't land on that cone, he would have taken a lot more fall damage. And then you guys talked about the play, the casters, that is Courage, how he went in the zone to catch Peace off guard. This was a nice play from Cold. He was actually in a pinch between high ground and low ground. Manages to knock out high ground, and then from there he just boxes out low ground. That high ground take was very important. When he knocked him out, he was going to land on that mountain. He could have landed on that mountain, and that was where it would go up on top of it, so he had to control it. He did, and he knocked that player out. Good play from Cold.
You have to make the best of your advantages, particularly when you make your move. You need to execute and then hold it out. That's how you move up these standings. That's how you're able to execute. So you can see a lot of these guys starting to get towards the back half of their games played. Bala, break it down for us. Some familiar names and then also some new faces up here so far.
Yeah, in first place, Duke, 45 points. You said it was the midpoint. He's got 5 matches played. His pacing is perfect right now. Kytrex in second. Triggy Soares, we just saw his game. Unfortunately, he didn't win that one, but still, 2 victory royales on deck for him. Triggy Soares is doing crazy. So you look at it all the way through, 45 to 41 on this first page. We saw it in Europe. It was so close.
Yeah, I mean, it was been that way the entire time on NA East, right towards the end. That spread was there. But again, don't forget, this is the semifinals, so top 3,000 for solos advance to tomorrow. But these are the names you want to keep an eye on in terms of players who are consistently up towards the top, because there is only a few spots, 2 spots up for grabs in the West for solos. But we've seen Soggies up there. We've seen Domo, Cold Cubity, Pika has been called out in a number of the pieces. Jay, when he pops off, however, today already through 9 games, so a little bit rougher, should be enough to get him through and qualify for tomorrow. But still, a lot of names we've seen before on here.
Yeah, and when you're in that halfway point, I don't know exactly how it works out, but when you're in that halfway point, you're in that top 20, I think you're feeling pretty happy going into it. There's no way that you're going to get knocked out of the top 3,000, so you're comfortable there.
Right, no losing points, no bus fare in the tournament playlist. It's all about gaining it and locking in your top spot, but still have more games to play, still have more action going on, have to round it out in the West. So we're going to throw it back on over to Courage and Kitty.
Aw, and I caught it. Both of those shots. Woo!
Love it. Love the teamwork right there. Great stuff, guys. Yeah, we actually, I just got tweeted by a bunch of people. And production, I'm gonna challenge you right now.
Oh no.
Apparently, FaZe Jarvis, one of the new pick. Wait, there he is. Stop!
Don't even.
Please tell me we're gonna go to him. I just got sent many screenshots of him using the double flint knock, the JD setup.
Is he doing that for you, Courage?
He might just be. If he is, Jarvis, you're my favorite FaZe member.
Officially.
Behind Temper, Banks, Tico, Apex, Cloaksy, Tifu, your brother, High Sky, the entire Call of Duty roster, Attach, who's not even on FaZe really right now, Crowder, Shibby, who works in your, he's one of your VPs. I mean, literally anyone. But no, I'm just kidding. Jarvis, where'd your other one go?
Okay.
Where'd the other flint knock go?
It's still early. Maybe he gets the elimination and
dude.
picks it up. Okay.
Please.
There's still time, Courage. He can still salvage the situation. He is rocking a flintlock with a drum
Flint
gun.
knock, please. Flint knock. Yeah, because you knock yourself back. It's a little play on words.
Here we Flint knock.
I know. It's a whole big
and
thing.
the drum gun. And the shields, and he's got that rip, so maybe he makes a rip play, but we're about to find out.
Oh yeah, he's feeling great right now.
Because guys, if you're just joining us, we are coming in. Oh, PB and Daniele going down in the background. Awesome. I mean, not good that you're going down, but good to see you in these lakes.
Nice.
Hey.
Yes. You just gotta live through the game. Great to see you though.
Bad timing on my words.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
But if you're just joining us, guys, we are heading into the top point lobbies of NAWest, and we are coming in around that 5th and 6th storm mark, where the action is at its highest in these late game. Get you all of the best plays that we possibly can. Now we're checking back in with Kytrex. Hopefully, we'll get to see Jarvis pick up another flint knock.
Try to see what game it exactly was, but there you see the scores and how it all breaks out on the top right. 3 big shields, 6 minis.
Yeah, going for that
near
little
max
trade.
materials. Kytrex in a great spot and using this to get up the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
It's really all you could ask for right now.
This zone, a little alley-oop up and down over the hill. I love to see how these players react with the change in elevation. And if you're a new player, being in these late games and having to make these early decisions to build up and then down something like this is quite difficult. If you haven't made it to these high-populated late games, it is quite a wild ride. You need to be making those decisions early. We're watching Kytrex again.
Another
6
rift.
eliminations and a rift and a baller. Here, let's do it.
Grabs the rift, and that's it right there. Because of how the game currently is, leaves behind that other weapon. All you need right now is that drum gun and an attack shotgun. That's it. I'd rather carry the rest of the healing and the rift and everything. You saw right there, nearly pops the rift to go. Didn't get the swap over to the building materials quick enough, but still has a launch pad, has 3 campfires too, and a ridiculous spray on the Lunar Ventrix.
Ventrix. Hate to see it. Does take 2 other players with him. As soon as he sees that zone shift, he pops that rift, takes these guys with him. They are moving west now, up over this just little path. They're not changing elevation at all here, but there's lots of players still in this lobby, and sometimes that extra hang time when everyone's doing that rotation is the best time. Oh, is it Jarvis with the flint knock?
Flint knock. Just use it once. Come on, Jarvis. Where's the second one?
It's the best time to be using the rifts early, so you're not going to be penalized during the rotate. But Here we got Ricky climbing, literally climbing in his baller right now.
Yep.
0 eliminations, potentially going for a 0 elimination win challenge currently. We could find out.
Decided to make YouTube content in the middle of the World Cup qualifiers.
That would be good.
Yeah, that really would be.
Qualifying for the World Cup, you know, lots of different ways to do it. This is Fortnite, everybody. There's lots of. Jarvis not like this. Maybe it's the next game.
Yeah, maybe it is. We'll have to keep track of Jarvis's
Keep an
double
eye
flint
on it.
knock gameplay. But Ricky, beautiful job actually getting the height on the Tavern right there. I don't
There
know. I
goes
don't know
his
if he's
YouTube
ultimate height because he's
content, too.
still building roofs right now, which would make me think he's not ultimate height.
Oh.
Exactly that. So he's going to get dropped on down for a moment. Player right inside of his box. Doesn't get to use the trap, but either way, the tac shotgun does its job. Down goes Tavern. Up to our top 6. Remember, top 5 earn those placement points.
Yep.
2 more points.
Tavern found himself in a bit of a
There it
sandwich
is.
position. We only have 5 left in this lobby in the final zone. They're going all the way north now towards Shifty Chefs. Kytrex with the ultimate high ground. France, we've seen him in the game before, making it to so many of these late games. Such a consistent player. Mowgli finding a lot of shots coming up from Ricky. Does get eliminated. Cortex solo trying to pop the shield while the zone is moving. Does get taken out by Dramas, it looks like. So we have Kytrex, Ricky, and France all here. Did Dramas trap eliminate him there?
It might have. Dramas had already died in this
Yeah.
game, so he might have been the last to do damage or something
Late
along those
trap.
lines. Kytrex is already. What I love about what Kytrex is doing, building out far on purpose and then beaming back in. That's how easy Kytrex just made it. Kytrex on height right there. Kept building further into the zone and then turning back with his 700 plus bullet
Wow.
drum gun. Spraying on down, making it look easy. With that weapon unvaulted, it has completely changed the face of Fortnite competitive, and it shows right there into our next NAWest game.
And a nice-
WBG Ranger on your screen, one of the highest winning or elimination and winning players in public games in Fortnite's history.
Oh, great stat, Courage.
Thank you very much. And he's also the guy who carries Cypher. I didn't say that. That was
Clip it.
Pookie.
Clip it. Send it over to Cypher right now. We do see Slaya picking up an elimination in that action feed right now. Flair boxed up in his 1v1. We saw Camdian a lot today. Incredible gameplay coming out by him, and it looks like Flair is getting targeted by the opponent to his north. And remember, guys, this loadout right now, that tac shotgun with that drum gun. He's got 3 med kits. You know, we never know. You never knew when
Yeah.
you might need 3 med kits.
I think that's the test. You really don't ever need it as Aggro Flare. Moving on out. 105 total builds left.
Oh.
And this is a perfect way to enter. Drum gun spray. There goes 150 health.
Still single.
So am I, Tyler.
Back
Don't
to
worry.
the lobby. Re-queue. Oh. I don't know how to interact with that. I don't know how to touch that.
We're going to go to Jack's
Yay.
therapy session.
Oh, you know, there's lots
the
of
next
things
few
that I
minutes.
could say to that, but now's
Ariana,
not the
if you're
time,
watching.
Courage, okay?
Please go to karaoke with me, Ariana Grande.
All the single Fortnite ladies watching this stream right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Send a DM to Kitty Play.
Hey, bro, that might be a YouTube. That could be a YouTube series right there. But Scrubbertron, what a name! Literally max materials. 150 total builds,
Make it
28
YouTube
points, and
content.
quick little elimination right there. On to Jadoo.
Great elimination. Just a lot of players getting caught off guard. When you are making any play in this game, you need to make sure that you are watching your back. Otherwise, someone like Strawberton is going to drop into your 1v1
Yep.
during your rotation and eliminate. Jack is currently checking his DMs. Ladies, okay, hold out till after today,
sorry.
I swear. Okay,
Sorry.
I need a co-caster. Now we're checking.
It's worth a shot.
Oh, no.
Vinny,
Checking in with Vinny.
spray with that suppressed SMG. Shreds through builds, actually better than the compact SMG, which is why you see a lot of players prefer to use it. Knows how weak his opposition is on the other side of this wall. Fortunately for him, can't actually finish the elim as of yet. We'll have to see exactly how this plays on out.
Yeah, he has no time though. He needs to make the rotation. This is a moving zone.
There it is.
Does get off and drags, taking a lot of shots from both angles. This is the problem, that sandwich situation. You do not want to be the meat.
Especially when you're on the edge of that zone, everyone else that's already set up in the zone is turning and focusing towards that. Caraverdi trying to build on up the edge of this mountain, and this is one of those awkward zones. I mean, Broom drops. Aggro flare looks to be in a
Only
terrible
Aggro
position.
Saw that jump pad. There's a community jump pad nearby.
No.
They're going for the Scythe elimination. Unable to secure it. Does have 33 points though. Hopefully that'll be enough to secure that top 3,000. We got Jay Cuddy in a baller. We got Tralala. We've got a lot of players in here. Slaya's still alive. Chance is on that ultimate high ground. A lot of players building down. Zeke giggling in the background. Very distracting. And just another alley-oop. Courage, we're going up, we're going down.
Yeah.
Lots of rotation from these players. You better hope you've got a lot of resources to deal with this.
Yeah, right down the edge of this cliff, you see people just trying to frantically build down. See, this is where the ballers are really still king in the game. They're just floating all around. It doesn't matter the elevation. They're more than happy to go up and down and all around. Duke landing all the way on the low ground. Should try to beam and turn Brecky, and yeah, Brecky gets cut down real quick. Was absolutely one shot.
Yeah, didn't look like Brecky had any resources, was just looking for a play into that 1-by-1, and we're going right back up the hill again. All of these ballers still in rotation. Only 4 of them, though. Looks like Jay Cuddy did lose his. Chance still on the high ground, but it looks like Frosty has clout, is going to look to contest it. Does have a great loadout, but only 77 bullets in that drum gun. And while that might look like a lot for a typical pub game, in the games like this, you burn through that so quickly when you're spamming walls, trying to take tags on other players. So he's going to have to use that to the best of his ability.
Frosty not letting that campfire finish, deciding it's more important to move towards the zone. And someone's in the same box as him, and with the 4th shot gets Jay Cuddy, and now continuing to use that combat shotgun.
Yep, a lot of these players having to quickly adapt to this new weapon, higher rate of fire, shorter range of bullet spread. Yep. And now we've got Tralala on that high ground. Walla right below him. Trashy does look like he's trying to make a play for the high ground, but does take a lot of tags. But we're going to come right in on this mid ground. Hindog in a 1v1 situation does need to keep rotating. We are going right back up that mountain. He has no more builds. He needs to take this trade. He needs to get this elimination. He needs to get the extra builds. But at this late in the game, he's only going to pick up 13. That's the exact amount that he gets from the elimination. Does pick up more now from another opponent. So much
up
going
another
on
mountain. It's going right back.
Right
back. Gosh,
My
Chance.
favorite type of games, Courage.
I'm sorry, Chance. That just seems like an impossible scenario. He realizes he's dancing. He's literally dancing down there. Yep.
Yeah.
Chance knew it was done for. Back up the mountain again. Walla looks like they're going to drop to the zone. Trashy barely making it out of the zone right now.
Wow, it's really surprising that Tralala didn't want to maintain that high ground. Opts to take some little shots on his opponents, rotating up. Now it's a 1v1 situation. Trashy does not have the health advantage, but they will go. Takes a clean shot onto Tralala. Trading shots right now. We're going to see Trashy landing the last shot onto Tralala. Bit of a misplay by Tralala there, but Trashy totally taking advantage of that hill, rotating early. Look at this, Courage. We went all the way up one of the biggest hills in the game, all the way down one of the biggest hills in the game, up a little hill, and then right back up.
Yeah, that's just basically trolling the players. But
Love it.
right there, what we just saw from Trashy was just a perfect use of that little bit of a high ground, taking a shot, building the floor, making sure he kept the high ground until it was the right time to drop on down. Once he broke the shields and knew it was an even health battle, then he went for it. Over to Coda, 2 launch pads, has the rare drum gun, rare assault rifle, 5 dynamite.
Oh, I really, really hope we get to see him save these dynamite till those last zones where you can rain it down on all your competitors. I don't know why it's so satisfying, and while I feel I'm making these situations that they're so hard for the players. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, for real.
I don't like you guys to have a hard day.
But that is one of the best times to use it. And right now, Coda's what he's actually doing is jumping on up and trying to spot if that loot is worth going for. And I think that he's got to decide it is.
It is.
So he'll drop on in. So like right there, saw the launch pad. That was probably his thought process behind it.
3 launch pads.
Okay, like I can go there, grab a launch pad, and just use that launch pad as my rotation. Also saw the shadow bombs, 6
full stack
shadow bombs. So now Coda, instead of flying right to the zone, decides I'm going to go land there, loot this body, and is rewarded with another jump pad to rotate with, but now 6 shadow bombs, more ammo, max materials.
Oh, is able to use that drum gun to get that elimination. Does get rid of the trap right away. Does not want to deal with that. 6 eliminations, 6 shadow bombs, and 6 mini shields. He is in a great position right now. I'm really excited to see where he's able to take this. And
Yeah.
I want to let you know that the number 6 is lucky in Asia, actually.
Ooh.
So,
Didn't know that.
yep.
Okay.
So maybe that'll be his lucky number for the elimination or the victory round today.
Looks like it is right now with another
Help him
elimination right
qualify.
there.
Debo.
7 so far with still 34 players remaining. Remember, if you are just tuning on in, this is week 5 of the Fortnite World Cup online qualifiers. It is a solos week, meaning top 25 earns you 3 placement points, top 15 earns you 2, top 5 earns you 2 more, and if you win the game, you can earn 3 more, so a total of 10 placement points. If you get that victory royale, there it is on the right side of your screen, and each elimination 1 point. So right now, Coda at a 7 make it 8-point game as another elimination comes on through, and
Wow, King did
if
not
he can
know where that was
outlast
coming
4
from.
more players, top 25, he'll earn 3 more points as well.
Oh, and now he's just sitting praying over that loot pile, hoping another player does go for it. Maybe he can get some clean shots and another elimination. Having 8 eliminations while there's still 27 players in the lobby, there's so much opportunity for him to do work. There you go. You have another little loot goblin coming in to try and take that loot. Does get clean shots, able to take his shield off. 67 damage tack, has no shield, no health. You do see Coda opt to go outside of the zone a little bit with his shadow bomb. Art is continuously using these to try and get up the map, is able to find a clear little opening where he's able to jump through. Remember, guys, you are not able to edit or break walls while you're in this form. It's really important that if you are going to use it in a 1-by-1, at the edge of zone, you are building a door first. Okay, quick little meta tip.
For sure. Now, Coda has campfires to use, not actually popping them as of yet, deciding it's more important to just rain down fire on the players pushing on in. Using that rare assault rifle does get the elimination onto Reckman, and now will continue to go up the side of this mountain. Again, the remnants of what once was that tall volcano definitely has been cut down quite a bit in the new Season 9 update. Coda now 9 eliminations, top 15. So not only do you get the placement points for top 25, now earn the placement points for top 15, also with 10 eliminations, a 16-point match up to this point.
Yep, Coda's doing an exceptional job right now, getting into that top 15 spot. Does not opt for those campfires, instead saving them for the late game and using the siphon of eliminating his opponents to get that health back instead. He is absolutely on top of his game. In a lobby of this high of points, this is late into the NAWest qualifiers. These guys are absolutely exceptional. Being able to put out 10 eliminations, this is not like a pub match, guys. Like we see right here, Pride Loves You has no eliminations. When we see these players that are like getting double digits, we know that they have come here to play. They are making this look like a clinic.
Pretty crazy to think right now that people have just been using these shadow bombs instead of using launch pads, like from what we saw earlier. He had 3 launch pads, you only used 1, and now from then on out is basically shadow bomb from each zone. Fried so weak, this player from up above knows how weak he's got to be, and down to just 9 health as he takes some Tim damage right there. Dropping down even more.
4 builds. He's got to use them wisely.
Oh my goodness, there's 2
actually
of them.
wastes one of them outside of there. Is able to get his shield off and just working his way around here. 2 eliminations, isn't able to pick up those resources. Does go down to Coda, who we were just spectating, picking up his 11th elimination.
And more placement points now. So 11 elims plus 7 placement points. An 18-point game for Coda right now. And still with near max materials to use and all the ammo you could ever want.
Yep. He's bobbing and weaving through here, breaking down this wall, and now we're
Sadistic laughter from Kitty plays.
I'm sorry. That was great.
Is now Coda. 12 eliminations. A victory royale here in this final limb would put him at a 23-point game.
Tyler dropping the trap, hoping Coda is not aware to land on it. But
That angle.
yeah, Coda popping that far out of the zone to get that angle onto Tyler. Meticulous. He is making this look like a pub map. This is the top point lobby of NAWest right now, and he is like absolutely dominating. What an intelligent player and a quick player. Great edits. Wow, that was such a pleasure to watch. Really,
He had a game plan for that dynamite all the way at the beginning of the game. Held on to them, and in the end, it literally wins him the game in that final 3.
Yep.
Now heading back on over. NAWest under 1 hour left in queue times. All making. One of them so far sees an open window, tries to peek and spot.
Oh, I want to see a
Somewhat
really
ahead on
clean,
out.
heavy sniper play.
Don't we alls?
Yeah. let's
Spots
see
one
it.
player getting pressured, deciding it's more important to just peek on up towards the high ground. Can't get shot in the back. Good place of that wall right there to cut off that sight line.
Let's get it. I think he's gonna do it.
We'll see.
Oh, but we do have a whole lobby in here. We got Zucchini. That's a great username. Oh, Rip does get used over on that edge. And he's actually not in the zone right now, so he will have to make a rotation to the northeast.
I'm wondering if he uses a shadow bomb for this one or if he just tries to walk it out on foot. He's not too far away.
No, he's not. I think you're gonna see a play here.
150 and the headshot. Wants this loot from JMO.
Yeah.
He'll go and grab all that
Power
real
of the
quick.
heavy-
And the launch pad, there you
Okay.
go.
Okay, power of that heavy sniper followed up by that drum gun. Super, super clean play. He is showing us exactly why he has always been our one to watch. Being so consistent in these games, and now just going right into this supply drop. Does get another campfire. We saw him pick one up earlier. There's a little bit of a spectator glitch, so he does have what we know of 2 campfires now, which we've seen how much of an impact that makes in the late game. And we got Ventrix right here from Lunar, just posted up near the center of the zone. They are going to have to make this push up into the north. We're right around Salty Springs, and he's got a good loadout. You know, he's got that tactical shotgun. He's got that drum gun that everyone's been prioritizing so high. Has the assault rifle if he gets any of those opportunities on rifts or rotations or in the long, medium range, and that redeploy. We haven't seen as much of the redeploy today as we did in the weeks past, but it'll be interesting to see how he decides to utilize it.
Yeah, I think a lot of players have been looking to use those shadow bombs. One thing to point out, you know, you mentioned having the assault rifle as well as the drum gun. They both use medium ammo. So 145, 125 shots between the two. That's going to go by real quick when it gets down to spray mode here in this late game. And well,
okay,
that's basically all you could ever ask for.
How many
I take back
shots
everything I said.
Oh, doubles it. Now sitting at 300 ammo for Ventrix. And popping that jump pad right away. Probably going to become a community jump pad for a lot of these players. Looking to get the best positioning he possibly can right now. And during these moving zones, you'll see a lot of these players not prioritizing these vulnerable moving players, the parachute into the zone. So he's got a free rotation, doesn't take any damage. And you got a little bit of a build fight going on in the center here. Lux does manage to take that ultimate high ground. Triggy in here as well. We got Boa, Ventrix, Zaletta all stacked on top of each other. A few ballers still rotating around. Ballers, sorry, baller.
Wherever he is.
Wherever he is.
21 players left now. The first placement points have come on in. Boa just this out of this box, breaks it, and oh, this player has no idea. Zuki.
Zucchini, I love your username, but I'm sorry that just happened. You gotta be paying attention.
Does go down. Boa getting hit in the face by a baller right there. Just dodging for the moment, not taking any damage so far. 165 total health, not the best weaponry, but again, when you have the drum gun, it's the great equalizer. As Boa's gonna push on out.
Yeah, it really is. We see a lot of these players, it does not matter what quality their weapons are, they are able to still secure eliminations. He's already picked up 3 with a mostly gray
Nice
loadout.
tag.
And another one with that gray napkin, man. It's just you throw it at him and he gets that elimination.
Keeps on going, must be 2-ply is now Boa. 90s on up, just one level. Oh, awkward edits there for the moment. Now down to just wood, which is not really the material you want to have for this late game moment, but I guess it's better than nothing. 13 players left. More placement points earned. Boa now at 35 in total so far for this NAWest qualifier here in week 5.
Yep, 34 builds to work with total, and we see how quickly they expend it. You see him, he's being really careful with what he's deciding to put down, opting not for the full box in right now, just using exactly what he needs. He does only have wood to utilize, does go for the aggressive play now, drops down onto low ground, doesn't pick up any of the resources from pars. That elimination, we're in a top 12 situation now. Lots of players still in this zone. We're gonna be heading into that final zone in 5 seconds. Ooh, clean push through that wall.
Yep.
Player waiting on the other side
builds.
to take that bullet. Yeah, he hasn't picked up any of the resources off of these final eliminations, but I mean, he might not need to with the way he's playing.
Right, as now it looks like it's time for him to make the decision to push on down. Can't build a wall. And when you can't build in Fortnite, you're destined to have a bad time. As Ronan on the high ground, playing on 60 hertz, it appears. Currently just spraying on down to the opponents down below.
Yep.
With that drum gun, 224 shots left. Probably doesn't want to give up that high ground at all for this game. Triggy, who we saw perform quite well earlier on, also in this one. Now down to just 7 players. Who's going to make it in the top 5 for those final bit of placement points before finding out who's going to be our winner of this game.
Yep, on the right side, we're spectating Mackin and Ronan in the corner. Mackin sitting on 3 eliminations, already at 49 points. That's probably enough to secure him the spot in the top 3,000. I would say it's definitely enough with how he's been playing. Amazing, amazing job. We've got Sensei Tacos on the low ground now with Fernie, 69. Ronan just taking any shots he can. Mackin picking up that extra elimination, now sitting on 4. 3 left in this final zone.
Mackin's the one in the awkward spot on the low ground, just trying to hold these builds for the moment, but it's Ronan laying down the pressure.
We saw that those campfires from earlier. He does pop down both. It makes time to be able to take that mini shield. Does not have the health advantage against Ronan. Ronan has a lot of builds to keep working with. Gets edited all the way down. Is making a play now for the uppercut.
Oh, that's it.
Gets a shot, and it's enough. That siphon helps him win.
Yep.
Amazing job by Ronan holding that high ground for so long. And congratulations on that victory royale. But Mackin, like, star of the show for this game.
The siphon makes the difference there for Ronan. Brilliant stuff to end that little bit of the NAWest, but the action's not done yet. We've got our handsome co-casters ready to break down some of what we missed.
Hey.
Thank you so much again, Kitty and Courage, and some great matches. We're past the halfway mark, past the 2/3 mark, about 50 minutes left in the queue times, or whatever of those 10 games they have available. I'm joined here by Bala, and he's going to break down some of the action we just saw in that last block. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I'm noticing a trend right now with the drum gun. Catching people in the middle of the build grid, kind of in between 2 different tiles, is going to be so key to catch people. Right there is Pika on the vertical. We'll see another clip later on of Kytrex catching somebody on the other side. But here's a nice replacing with the drum gun at range, and then getting the window edit. Gearsmaster stuck under the stairs. He couldn't do anything. Kytrex is going to follow up later on. Here, this is what I'm talking about finding people in the middle of the build grid. He couldn't place those stairs until it was too late. Ventrix not able to place the stairs in time to really recover from that. He couldn't place a wall at all either. Now, Ricky climbing, one of the things there was how he actually was following somebody and realized that when he drops down, he needs to go check his back. That's going to net him the elimination on Jarvis. And then he's going to follow up. I think he gets 2nd place in this game. Mowgli goes down right there. His tactical shotgun close range was so good, but this is why you can't fight on the edge in a top 3 situation without covering your top. Kytrex was going to take advantage of that as both of the players were down on low. And watch, he's got free shots, free drum gun shots, and again, he was in the middle of the build grid. Kota here had such an impressive game. I think he had 23 points in this one, and here's the story. First, the elimination just onto the baller as he's flying through the air. Gonna get that one, just knocks him out of it, and then fall damage is gonna do the rest. Kota, the long range with him was insane, and that's one of the reasons. You can see his loadout. It's kind of interesting. He's using the AR and the drum gun. The drum gun is going to be used in situations like this, but the AR is going to be used in the situations like knocking out the baller, getting these range kills right here, which is very important in these games. The congestion is very high. People are going to get in your boxes, but if you position yourself perfectly, you're going to be able to get these long range. And then he's not even scared to just face. He just faced there. Look at this edit, though. That was his floor, drops it above to make sure he's safe, and then as soon as he's ready to place the launch pad, he edits all 3 squares, makes it perfect so he doesn't bonk his head at all. And then the dynamite just covers the entire zone. Sundown This is a play that we're seeing more and more often. When you get to that final zone, just start chucking dynamite, and it's so effective. There goes Kevin. He's no longer there. And then this was my favorite. Going into zone like this, the zone's not even closed yet, but it's actually gonna catch him on the side. He was covering his tops, but he's just gonna go out to the side of zone. The player doesn't realize that he's gonna be doing that, and that's what you gotta do. Don't be afraid of the zone, man. Don't be afraid of it.
Particularly in that late situation, each 5 seconds in the zone when it's ticking for 10 damage, the Siphon will give you that back. And if you pick up an elim when somebody else is going for maybe a heal off, it could end up being the difference, and we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
Not necessarily today, but tomorrow. When these qualifying spots are up for grabs, every one of those interactions matters. Every chance to pick up points, whether it's you knocking someone out or you staying in the lobby, one extra tick because of a bandage or because of a campfire. That's what's going to make the difference. Let's take a look at those standings before we go to a quick break and wrap up NAWest. And you can see now a lot of the players starting to get towards the end of their matches. The players up here might end up shifting down because of that. You see Yagio and Fish sitting at top, 60 points currently, and a decent spread now too. 11 points from top to bottom, but 2 members from Reciprocity on there, Triggy and Harmful. Progiasis also up there, Jarvis up there, and a decent amount of Fortnite games to be played. They could maybe go aggro in a couple games, or since they have been more efficient with their points, expect them to rack off maybe 2, possibly 3 more complete games. And Harmful, Triggy, Spectro in particular right there. Spectro's only played 4 of his 10 games and sitting on 42 points. I mean.
And we talk about the interactions tomorrow. We've seen AU making in a couple of games with people on this board. Tomorrow, that's going to matter so much. When we look at the top 10, who is in games together, who's actually fighting each other. We saw some interactions the past couple of weeks where they've actually knocked somebody out, and that was their qualifying moment, actually eliminating that player because they got knocked out, weren't able to get more points. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we talk about critical eliminations all the time when we get to Sunday, but on Saturday, it's about being in the top 3,000, being the best of the best in your region to then get a shot at a piece of the $1 million prize pool, and even potentially, if you're in that top 0.01% or top 0.001%, a chance to go to New York City for the Fortnite World Cup Final from July 26th to the 28th. For now, we're going to go to a quick break, then we'll wrap up the rest of the NAWest games. So don't go anywhere. Trust me, we'll know if you leave. Lupo will know too, even though he's napping.
But I was in shock. Like, I was in Discord with like a lot of my friends and Leno, and they're like all yelling, screaming. I went to go tell my parents. My mom was crying. It was crazy. But there's a lot of top West players, and getting first feels really good, knowing that the grind pays off. Covaxing, VOD reviewing, playing scrims, it all pays off. Like, knowing that you were #1 out of like everyone in the region, it's just crazy. I still can't believe it. We qualified.
I think the reason why me and Echo can do well on the format is because it's heavily points based, and we're pretty good at getting kills and playing together aggressively. So I think that's where we do well, because we can get a lot of kills early game and then get the loot we need to finish up the end game and win the games. When you're in the qualifying games, don't think that much about the leaderboard or what happens if you qualify. Just focus on the game and try to get as many points as possible.
Ever since we first played together, we both felt like we had really natural like chemistry, like our play styles meshed together like really well. We knew that we had what it takes. All it took was a little bit more consistency, like maybe a pop-off game or two, and we would be qualifying. Like, if you want to get those like necessary points, you need to be able to win those games where you have nothing, where you have no mats at the end, and you hit your shots when it matters. We knew it was coming. We knew we had what it took. For sure, I would say the #1 thing for up-and-coming players is like building your game sense, and playing scrims is like for sure the best way to do that.
This is a dream for us. Like, we played really safe and play for the kill at the late game. We already play in squad together. And so practice, we play all day at the night, practicing private game.
So I think it's one of my biggest accomplishments Fortnite-wise, because it's just a massive, massive pool of people that have been grinding this game as well and trying so hard to get there. I'm sure it's at least 1 million that try to play for this, and to be top 3 out of that pool, it's very impressive to me. My family and friends are pretty hyped about it, and they've been supportive from pretty much the beginning. Yeah. I wouldn't say the beginning, because my mom definitely didn't get it at first.
It feels good that I can say I qualified for both. I'm the 2-time qualifiers. You see the top players in EU and you know they're gonna qualify, like Benji, and now my name's up there with Stompy to Shinken. It feels so good. I qualified for duos and solos within 4 weeks, and now I can just kind of relax, have the stress off my shoulders, play these tourneys, just enjoy it, and then just practice. I mean, in the end, I just want to win the World Cup.
And welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers. We are just getting into the final moments of North America West, where we have 2 spots available tomorrow. All the players today are competing for a chance at the top 3,000 to qualify them for tomorrow. Very, very exciting stuff. Near the end, these are high point lobbies with some of the best of the region. And to take that away for us is our amazing, beautiful, fantastic, filled with dance moves, no pressure dance moves, casters. Is that Zeke in there? Zeke?
Sundown work.
Is it Sundown or Zeke? Oh.
Dance
filled with dance moves. I had to keep it going from all the way over.
Paula, you need a dance move too now. No pressure.
Oh,
what was the dance move from the Secret Skirmish? Oh, okay. That's fair.
There you go.
That's fair. We'll take it.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Maybe.
Thank you for taking care of the game today.
Thank you so much, Kitty. Yes, I'm Sundown, joined here by Bala, and we are going to take you through the rest of the North America West action, the final server region for Week 5 of the semifinals for the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers. I mean, I'm ready to get in matches. Are you?
I'm ready. Yeah, let's do it. And I'm really proud of you, Sundown, because you keep saying every single word of that sentence. It's amazing.
Hey, man, plenty of practice. Like I said, been out here a while. Said it a lot, just got to get it. You know, it really rolls off the tongue there. The Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers.
Week number 4.
Yeah, week number 5. Like we said, getting to almost halfway. Once we're done with tomorrow, we will have just over half of our solo player pool. Just a reminder, they get 10 matches or 3 hours, so just under 40 minutes left in the queue times. And again, 5 weeks left, and these are completely open online. You can play from your couch. You can play on an iPad. You can play on a Switch. I know there was an iPad player who won money last week in NAE, so anybody is capable of playing in this. You just need to get 300 points in the arena, and you are eligible for the semifinals on Saturday. Every single week for 10 weeks, $1 million up for grabs, every single region. And again, we're on board here with NAWest, so this is the final region of the day, Bala.
Final region, and it's been explosive. All the games have been great all the way since the beginning. Usually the first couple of games are not that crazy, but they have been in NAWest today. They're showing off their skills, showing off their stuff here. Prodigy Aces, such a strong player. He looks like he wanted to go for that drop, but unfortunately he didn't build over it. But now he's going to go right down and collect it. Nice. Placing the stair there as well to make sure that he has that extra layer of protection.
That's such a loot goblet move, man. I was just like, I was waiting for just the hail of medium bullets to come towards him, but apparently nobody wanted to contest, and in reality, all he really does there is top off a little bit on mats, not picking up too much use for there.
He got a launch pad.
Okay, yeah, got the one launch pad. That was fair. Wasn't sure if he had that from before. Didn't quite see it there. So the launch pad and some mats, not too bad there, and particularly for no risk. We're also sitting at 26 players in the lobby. You can see that in the top left corner of your screen. The placing right there, Becca, on point. Thank you so much. 16th to 25th will net you 3 points. If you advance to top 15, it's an additional 2 for 5. Top 5 is 2 more for a total of 7. And then the Victor Royale walks away with 10 cumulative. Each elim is being worth a point, as we see Prodigy Aces there picking up Mary Boppins, getting bopped back to lobby, and that is a critical elim, meaning it gets him the 1 point, and it also gets him the 3 points because he eliminated the 26th player left using the Shadow Bomb to get over to the far side.
And we'll see where he's going to position himself. That's what the players are all deciding where to do. He actually gets a little bit of a mid-ground position there. Now moving over towards the side of the zone, unsightly, going up a little bit, getting a little bit of height right now. He's going to take some shots. That's actually Prodigy Ace, is the player we were just tracking. Is he going to be able to finish it? No, he's going to go ahead and put his sights on another player. Getting a few tags, that's very good as he moves forward. No eliminations, no siphon for him just yet. But remember, the placement points are going to roll in. We already got that top 25. Got to get that top 15 too.
Yep, next one will take over there, but you see Unsightly looking to put that combat to work. That's a 61 followed by error 71 followed by a 56, and then looks to swap, doesn't quite get it, but it's gonna pressure right into the box, and abrupt unmoved. You got moved indeed. Unsightly now turns around onto Sakairos, putting that combat shotgun to work, not only showing off that tight spread with the aim and hitting the headshots, but also the high rate of fire, squeezing off 2 rounds, even though he only needed the 1.
Yeah, and right in between the drum gun, breaking that wall. Such perfect timing there, and then replacing the wall as well, just in case he doesn't hit it. He does do it. So perfect play there from Unsightly. Where is this going to take us right now? It's Spectro. He's on a little bit of a pickle on the side of zone. A lot of players near him right now. It's going to actually end. There's the tack shotgun. Is he going to be able to get it? No, just barely. He's got to make his way through this brick now. Unfortunately, none of this is his. He's going to take a few ticks of storm because of it.
More than a few as he's down to 60, but he chases in and picks up Ricky climbing. Also then goes back to get a little bit of the mats and the campfire, trying to push back into the zone, putting whatever he can with that common tack down, and then edits the ramp to recover himself. Well played from Spectro here, a player we saw originally back in the Winter Royale, didn't expect to even qualify for the finals, made it there, and now has been popping off every week in West. We saw him in 2nd place going into this match, having only played 4 games, was the only one on the leaderboard with 4 games left, and now with the top 7, he's showing he has another shot.
Yeah. When you're up that high with not that many games played, you feel comfortable about it, but you got to make sure you pace yourself. Here, in this game, you definitely know he's up there in the standings. He's got 60 points here. Is he going to find more? That's the question. Looking up at high ground right now, deciding, do I want to challenge this? No, the answer is going to be definitely not because of the materials, but he's going to pick up Snow. There it is.
The week 1 qualifier, Snow, goes down, and as you said, picks up a little over 30 builds, immediately boxes himself in as we move into the top 5 as well. So we talked about critical elims. That one was worth 3 points now, as it's all about the eliminations and the victory royale. This is where you earn your keep. This is where you have to close out matches if you want to end up in one of the top 2 spots. And he takes the drum gun to work. You see 8 shots to the baller, and it just vanishes. Not going to miss those. And now pressing him with the attack, misses the first or misses the second, but hits the third. Swaps to the drum. You get plenty of shots to miss there, and then he hits the ones he needs. Uber goes down, and it's top 3.
Top 3, but Takato's going to put an end to Spectro, and now it's a 1v1. They're in the same box, and the trap does go down, but Siebes is going to go down before the trap ends up ticking. And that was funny because Siebes was actually trying to trap all those players down below. He never managed to get it off because he was so far out of the box. But there, Takato's going to clean up. Unfortunately, he relied a little too much on the trap.
Yep, great work from Takata there, working top down and cleaning out the rest of the lobby. But we're not stopping, still got the matches going. And if you're a little bit newer to the official broadcast, what we do here is we hop into the end games and we also pull them directly from that NAWest leaderboard. So if you've set your region to NAWest, click the compete tab, you can look at these matches as well. If there's a flashing red dot next to it, you can watch it pretty much live. It's within 5 to 10 minutes. There is a little bit of a delay in there to make sure there's nothing nefarious going on. But also, you can hop on into these matches. You can follow your favorite player. You can follow your best friend if he's in there. Or you can go in and make some cool montages yourself, make some VOD reviews, do some cool stuff, and tweet it either at BallAndI, but no matter what, include that hashtag Fortnite World Cup, because we want to see how you're watching. We want to see what you're doing, and we want to see more sick plays like that from 801 Buddy.
Just hit another one.
On to Riversun and back to back. No. That is not the mixtape. That's 801 Buddy with 2 elims there.
That was crazy, too, because Riversun was actually going to go ahead and loot Goblin that, but the window was still edited, so he didn't manage to break that wall in time. What a shot there to pick that up as well. To know that there's going to be people interested in that loot.
Oh, everyone, like I said, don't play Loot Goblin unless you're sure, and those are the differences. Riversun, a player who has already qualified, going through him and Snow, were the first 2 coming out of NAWest, but getting punished there. I mean, if you're 801, you feel really good about that.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when you see Liquid Riversun pop up. You never know who it's going to be, but Riversun, you're like, oh, okay, I just took out probably one of the best players in this lobby. Now, Tannerman, ooh, I really like that, how he got as close as possible to the window edit so he could do maximum damage with that tactical shotgun, as Amplify takes maximum damage as well.
And great work to jump backwards and throw the stairs in the face, so he got it 1 in the block, but created enough room to get 1 more block away. Now gonna pop that last shadow bomb just to get out of dodge. He knows there's so many players who know he's low, gets picked up by that wind tunnel over onto the other side. Now, far side of the zone, room to pop minis, not in a bad spot.
No, not at all, especially considering he's in all brick. All he has left is brick and metal, so he's gonna be good in terms of players trying to pressure his box and get the time as well to heal back up and look for opportunities. What is he gonna find?
And you see Jailmock over on the side with Mary Boppins, a number of ballers still in play. About 4 of them left, but a lot of them are looking thin in terms of that orange HP bar. Tony also rolling around in one as Mazuma takes advantage of Luigi, always playing second fiddle, and you will be back in lobby there now as Mazuma continues, but starting to get inside kind of that danger low level in terms of the drum gun. Not gonna matter though as heart rate gets picked up, and can he convert and get the medium ammo? He does, opting to go and pick up some of the medium ammo and whatever the mats he can. 71 bullets left, but high ground and a rift. He's going to get out of there as TS4 Hitta is now on the high ground on one side, Herbly and Germs challenging on the other. We're going to jump on board with Jelma.
Already using that drum gun as soon as he gets into his box. It's a good position, a lot of time in the zone, as the zone does continue to go forward in the direction that he was. So Jelma, with that time, he picks up Uguay. Going into his cone, actually reverting the sides and staying covered from all sides with that cone. Really safe, good play here from Jailmock. Is he going to find another? Faces off with the drum gun. Not exactly what you want to do. You want to make sure that all engagements are definitely equal, right? Equal opportunity. Do you want to? No, not equal. Sorry, you want to be the advantage.
I was about to say, I ain't taking any
That was
50-50s,
equal, yeah.
I don't want none of that as we now get inside the top 25. Jalmok taking advantage of Ronnie Way after he uses that Shadow Bomb to rotate up the side. I know we talked about it before. Typically, it's 6 seconds of double jump, invisibility, and faster move speed. But if your feet don't touch the ground, it will get extended. Zhao using the side of the mountain there to extend that time and then reset. But now we're on board with Snow, and he is really hurting in terms of his effective ammo, going to rely super heavily on the Flintlock and the one RPG. He has to make a play happen, but he can also just wait it out as Lollylicker takes up the Zuma, and then he gets Ryanator and then moves himself farther from the zone. You can see he's desperately trying to find whatever materials he can to cover himself, and he does, getting some medium ammo and plenty of heavy, but no more rockets. So again, still highly Flintlock dependent. What can he do with it? Trying to put on a show. He's already qualified for the final in New York City, already qualified for tomorrow. Should be enough, but he wants more. Again, playing for practice, playing for his share of that $1 million prize pool, and honestly, a little bit of clout.
Yeah, a little bit of clout, and definitely also a little bit of an experimentation as he takes out one more player with the Flintlock, but that's why you got to be careful with it. You've got to be careful with that knockback effect. It does actually affect the other player as well. When he gets the elim there, that's not going to matter, but does manage to get back in the zone. Gets the siphon from that, and also the ammo, just a little bit more.
And he's in the top 5, so one of those critical elims we talked about, has decent positioning on this mid-ground tarp. You see Herbley in the top right. Snow uses the Flintlock to push himself up as Herbley cleans up 801 Bully, and then Snow catches himself with the glider redeploy and then turns immediately with that drum gun. Knows the player is pinned there. He's challenging, and Chris indeed getting dropped out. Snow immediately covers himself. This is an already qualified player. You want to see what it looks like to play with the best of the best? To play with somebody who's going to be in New York City? Snow in the bottom right is that example. Herbley with no builds. Can he make the play? Drops down. Shadow Bombs to catch himself. Snow should know he's down there, and that's the awareness I'm talking about. Here's the Shadow Bomb goes off. Knows he can't be anywhere but outsider at the bottom. Fires his one rocket away. It wasn't the Flintlock bullet he was saving. It was the RPG, and it was a long day, but he got him indeed.
Yeah. All the way back to that first Flintlock shot that made my heart drop a little bit as he went all the way back in the zone. But there, the recovery and the good awareness, just like you said, when you're in that Shadow Bomb, you can still get hit. So an RPG is going to do it for you.
Yep, and we've seen it be efficient before. We've seen players get ticked out before just from raw AoE from players either knowing they're there or just pure happenstance. Yeah. Just happening to rocket the ground as a Shadow Stone ends up going through. But now, Loki's Debris hopping himself up through the cone and now using the cone peak to check around him. The only thing you have to be aware of from here is making sure your sides don't get pushed, but he's going to try and take advantage of this player as he goes to force the box. Trying to get anxiety as he goes through, but not quite going to capitalize. His mental health is doing okay today. Just going to reset the cone.
Debris, you can see he's hunting. He wants anybody to start peeking. You see this player in particular, he already knows that he opened the window. He already knows his tendency. So there, you see him right now. This is it.
He wants it.
He has the heavy snipe too. That could be early damage or just finish him entirely with the headshot. But then the drum gun follow-up as well. What can he do, that player, as soon as he opens anything? He's going to go for it. There it is. Just one is actually not even going to be the player that we were talking about, but he's going to get both. Yes, just barely misses. And he's going to leave. There's that glider redeploy. He's got to be careful. That slowness, no Debris. You're good.
Man, that was just right out into the firing field. You saw traces going from either side. And Art, the other player who was over there, actually ticks out to the storm, so not able to close out and get away, but doesn't get ticked over recent enough for Debris to get the elimination credit. So still just hanging out. You see Sneaky Beaver picking up its Kaiso as we're now inside the top 30, so not quite to that first placement threshold of 25 points. Debris now going back up into his cone.
He loves this.
Checking around him. I mean, this is what we've seen. In solos, the next evolution of this is really sitting inside cones and getting ready to catch a player off guard in these rotations. We've seen Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy do it so well all the time, even in their duos. But you see Debris now trying to set up. This player isn't aware. Dropping down, going to get the angle, and just drilled.
I don't understand how.
He was cone peeking. He was cone peeking out the top, didn't hear the audio going through, focus on something else, or just didn't quite pick it up. And now Debris going to get out of there with a newly inherited Rift to go.
That Rift to go, he's going to have his choice of spots. Close to that volcano, it could start to choose to go all the way through, but right now we're just in the jungle. Sean making his way up. Kytrex, we saw him with a pop-off game earlier. Is he gonna be able to take out Aiden? Just barely. Yes, he does manage to get it with that drum gun.
Yeah, but Aiden did fall inside the top 25, so at least got the 3 points beforehand. But now Kytrex going to utilize the Shadow Bomb to jump over into the next safe zone. You can see in the bottom right, getting inside that next white circle, and then he's going to turn around and reset, trying to see if he can get a cheeky high ground or a peek. Does own the wall next to this player, as the player then boxes out, and now we're moving also towards a geyser. So a little bit more free utility if players want to utilize it. A number of ballers still making their way through as these players work up. Jet being pinned down on the side by Riot, trying to get whatever amount of space he can. Nobody wants to fall as Circle 7 is now closing and 23 players are remaining.
Wants to get all those placement points as well as maximize your eliminations in the game. And now Val Johnson not really looking anywhere about his top. There's players up above, but just using the old build is going to take out Egg Roll and then possibly another. There, finally starting to cover his top. And then going to go all the way to low ground because of the material situation. Sundown, it's looking rough for him right now. No mats left.
Yeah, needed to fall down there, and now hanging out with the ballers on the low ground, needs to be hyper aware. Knows there's a player on the other side, wants to push through, trying to use the rare AR, but doesn't have any form of actual build pressure. Finds Riot as he's able to loop around the side, but doesn't get any of the builds, doesn't get any other form of build pressure as Sean picks up Recipes in it as well.
And you can see the difference between the AR and the drum gun there. As long as he has the AR, he's not going to be able to punch through builds as fast, but he's definitely going to be able to punch through players. I don't know if that not grabbing the materials there is going to be a huge issue for him here. Right now he's making it work, but he was so close to those. And the elevation could change at an instant. It could go anywhere here, down to 19 HP, and Jay Lee's going to take him out.
Yep, Jay Lee dropping down, cleaning him up there. It was only a matter of time, walking past those other player builds where somebody will edit down and take advantage. Now hopping on board with Sneaky Beaver, the competitive veteran. He's been around not only competitive Fortnite, but just competitive games in general, as Tig also picks up Debrief. And now we're getting closer to that last placement threshold of top 5. Tig on the high ground. Sneaky, Gervy, Ailey, Triumph, Solo, France, all on the low ground with Kytex and Lil Ryan just below Gervy, now popping the Shadow Bomb and working a little bit up the tarp. Finds Kytrex, gets a decent number of shots on, but Kytrex immediately covering himself and working back up. Good tunneling over from the side, but the focus is getting there. Only 19 builds left as AO picks up France. Little Ryan picks up Solo. 2 more players need to go. 1 more as Gervy trades back out with Little Ryan. That's all the madness happening on the low ground. But Kytrex making a play for the high ground, and he gets it, takes it away from Tig, and makes it look clinical. Swaps over the drum gun as soon as he was in the open. Gets the siphon, gonna pop the big pot. Will take a couple of storm ticks, but good, efficient trade there. Gains the 30 health. 3 up in the sky now as you hear the rift to go. So 3 up in the sky. Kytrex on ultimate high ground, Sneaky on ultimate logo.
Oh
and
my
this
goodness.
Is just a shooting field for Kytrex. He should know there's a player underneath him as well, just stuck floating. But instead, does opt to look down now. The player is on that low ground. He's going to start tarping his way down. Does have a Shadow Bomb if he wants to use that rather than his builds, but instead going to work down. It's Kytrex on ultimate high. Triumph on the mid-tarp. Sneaky Beaver doing his best Sneaky Beaver impression on that ultimate low ground. He's in your bottom right as Kytrex is in your top right. 22 builds left. Circle is about to full close. He's opting for the campfire and the heal out. Triumph ticks over. Sneaky ticks over. No plays for the Siphon. Kytrex, patience is a virtue. Patience is key. Infinite dab lasts a very long time for those who are patient, about 13 hours. Maybe it goes to 14 next batch, who knows? But Kytrex picking up 14 points there, 4 eliminations, and the victory royale.
And speaking of patience, I love what he did with the campfires there. It wasn't just all at the same time at the last moment. He kind of chained all of those campfires together all the way back to probably like 20 seconds left in the zone. Don't tell me you hit this. Maximo looking for it right now into that next game here at Loot Lake. 29 players in this game. He's got the Rift to go. He's got the heavy sniper. He's looking good. Not too far in terms of where he needs to go for the next zone, that half in, half out. How is he going to get there, though? I think he's looking right now for any opportunity to kind of leech onto other players' mobility. Is there going to be any launch pads placed? He waited a little bit and decided, okay, nobody's going. I'm going to go myself.
Well, if he had waited a little longer, would have had the community launch pad that was placed behind him. You see the players going for it. Instead, opting for a high ground position and making Bebop pay for it. Reloading that drum gun, did have 300 rounds to start. picks up one elim there and then going to continue his diagonal rotation along the side. You see him picking back out with the heavy sniper, trying to find anyone possible who might happen to be poking out as we switch on over to that far side. You see Vinier just roll his old way on in just inside the safe zone, happens to find some bandages, also has a decent amount of builds, and he's going to continue to roll back on around. Look for a little bit less of a conspicuous location. Oh, don't get your ball.
Got it. Oh, it's gone. That's rolling.
Super
Sorry.
unfortunate. Yeah, that is a,
that's going down the hill. You're gonna have to chase that.
You can see it there, and Vinier's like, I wanted that.
Yeah, but still a good, safe position for him right now to take those band-aids. That's what he was looking for an opportunity to take those bandages. He picked them up earlier, but he knew the zone was going to start moving and push him into probably more uncomfortable center zone. And now there's that moving one. And it's going to go quite the same elevation. Now it takes out another player with that drum gun. He needs to cover all his walls. You got to edit your box closed.
Yep, didn't have his back covered. Always watch your 6 or have a buddy watch your 6. In solos, not quite possible, unfortunately. So throw a wall up. It's Fortnite. The battle is building. Use your builds. As Vinier is able to top himself back up from now just a lowly 15 HP back to a nice, effective 150 HP. You have 7. Using the launch pad and then settling himself, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner. Decent moving zone to go. Prolo picking up Jolam. Fluent picking up Chopped Stewie, as now 7 is looking to find those players rotating. He is on the edge of the zone. There are going to be a lot of potential targets rotating past him here. He's posted up plenty of medium and light ammo as Ranger goes down.
The range on this thing is just astonishing every time I see those kind of mid to long range shots. Just shreds through people.
I mean, even with max damage fall off, it only goes down, I think, to like 15 or 16. So still very, very significant. High rate of fire. Big. I don't think magazine's right for that. I think there's somebody will correct me. We'll say big drums because it is a drum gun. We're hanging out in there, you know. We got the base on there as Vinier picks up Vegito and then immediately needs to disengage, recognizing he could not place a ramp there. And he gets over to the far side. Oh, but he needs to be careful.
That's unfortunate. Going to take one tick. Not going to be the end of the world. I mean, it could end up being the difference down the line. But there, somebody's actually going to force Jam. I don't know if it was Jammies or which one of those two did pop the rift. Regardless, they're up in the sky. They're flying now. Maximo is going to take high ground from it.
And we're into the top 15 now, so 5 placement points for everyone who is left. And now Maximo, this is where we've seen kind of one of the good use cases coming out for that combat shotgun, not only in the high rate of fire, but skeet shooting out of there. We've seen players be absurdly accurate and just pick targets out of the sky. Maximo looking for that opportunity, continuing to look up, trying to utilize that tighter spread to put down shots, and instead just going to send that player into the fracas below, swaps right back to the drum gun, gets a couple shield tags, but that's it for his trouble. And again, swapping to that combat, you can see, does have the ideal use case, not quite able to pick it up there as he gets sent down another rung, but still on high ground.
Yeah, still on high ground, didn't have any connection points, but again, that's the high burst from the combat shotgun rather than the drum gun. That's going to be consistent damage that you need to track. You need to make sure that you're hitting every single bullet. There, the combat shotgun, one tap will do more damage on average every single time you shoot it.
And just particularly because those are the stationary targets. There's somebody with the drum you need to get a beat on and then track through and kind of hope you're just pouring enough bullets. These players, they are absolutely good enough to hit those shots. We've seen so many examples of players doing it. That's the use case where we see the combat shotgun really outshining a lot of these other ones. However, the tack and the drum still proving to be the weapon of choice here today for pretty much everyone involved, as Jarvis picks up Ducklet and puts himself into the top 5, 58 points so far for the FaZe player.
Yeah, and it's going to be close range all the way through because we're at that final zone and it gets small. It gets small very fast. Jarvis now in top 5. Who else is with him? That's the question. We saw him use the JD earlier, and we'll see if it's going to continue. Right now, he's got that classic loadout, I think, from Season 9. But there, the tack on the Thule. 4 players remaining. Looking for the materials as well. You saw him go back just barely, just a little bit. Lupian now down on low ground with him, and another player joining the fray. That's Maximo is going to pick up Lupian, but Jarvis still safe for now as Vinner and Maximo all looking for him. Everybody wants a piece. Jarvis gonna go on mid-ground right now. The combat shotgun's gonna pull him all the way down from that HP that he had, and Vinner's gonna take the opportunity to go down, but unfortunately Maximo realizes exactly what's going on. The combat shotgun again from the range.
Yo, he was just flying, and he had the legendary combat shotgun, excuse me, and then had the rare attack, opting to stay with the combat shotgun. But we've seen so many other players preferring the slightly adjusted attack with that slightly faster pullout rate going there and making the combat look really strong right there. I mean, Kitty, what did you think?
Oh, I've been absolutely loving these NAWest games. So much talent coming out from these players, and we are just heading into the final moments of it. But we do have a few replays to go through. Zeke, what have you prepared for us?
Well, guys, we're going to take a look together. I prepared a few things. First off, spatial awareness, and that's going to be demonstrated by none other than Spectro. If you're looking to level up your gameplay, this is how you do it. Watch the way he navigates these endgame fights here. He's aware exactly of where these players are, and when they're ready to push into his builds, he's ready to take the fights. But look at this. He just knows exactly how to hunt down players, how to navigate these fights. This in itself, and this is crazy, by the way, a 2v1 right here, boom, and then actually he goes on to eliminate the next player. This, buddy, my God, this was so good, I needed to take it back. We needed to slow this down. The reaction speed coming out of Buddy to land that headshot, insane. Now, Jo, I wanted to take a moment to highlight this cool rotation coming out of him. So keep in mind, you're only invisible for 6 seconds, but watch as he continues to wall bounce, and that keeps him up longer, allowing for that longer rotation. And then obviously he converts it into a pickup here. Very, very neat, very well done. And of course, Snow, I mean, you stole the show for me personally. I mean, Flintlock plays left and right. Not only did you land that one, you know, you had more. Of course, you were like, I know Zeke's watching, pal. Let me just follow up and get another one. Then he just goes full send. He's like, I'm just going to walk up, Mary Boppins, bop back to lobby. Nice try, friend. And then in the end, challenges somewhere else. He just waits for that player. He's so confident in this moment. And I like this specifically. He's fully aware in these final moments. The player is down below him. He cannot see him. He hears the shadow bomb, and he knows exactly, send a rocket down, because that's where that player is going to be. Very well done from Snow. You blew me away. I was like, this is my hero.
Wow.
This is it.
Yeah, no, amazing. I love seeing that flintlock into the redeploy too. It's definitely something that's nice to have, because you never know when it'll go awry and you find yourself off of your build and unable to build. So
for me, that's every time.
Every time. Okay, well, that is why I don't watch your stream. I'm just kidding. I love your stream. All right, well, we do got updated standings for where we're sitting right now with NAWest. Doom, Spectro, look, okay, that's a gap. What? No victory royales, 7 out of 10 of his games. The next person is that many points separate from him? Hello?
Yeah, I mean, so let's just break this down very quickly. First of all, dominating NAWest over here. Spectro, 7 games played, 83 points, no victory royales. That's absurd. Think about that. Like, you're basically getting more than 10 points a game, which is insane. Fish right behind him has completed all 10 games and ended with 66 points.
Wow.
Scented, 65 points, still has a game left to be able to play. Someone like Kytrex right here still has 3 games potentially left to play with 62 points. These guys are insane. Tokata, Harmful, I'm not even gonna try. Frappi, Jarvis, Antidote, Wef.
I like Antidote. I got that one.
Antidote, I got that one, yeah. We'll take a look at Doom's breakdown here. This is telling of itself, right? After the 7 games, look at this. 7, 12, 5, 4, 5, 12, 2. Even in this game, still picking up the 2 points. This is huge. That was his only 1 game. Wow, double seconds.
He has 3 second places total. Okay.
Spectrum,
oh my gosh, I know how frustrated I've been getting in second places, but second places in this type of event, thankfully, there's so many placement points available for these players that isn't just the victory royale with the current breakdown, but his worst game being 69th, still picking up 2 eliminations. Like, insane job by Doom Spectro. And just putting this into perspective, we see all of these incredible, consistent, like, top finishes. Majority of his points, 54%, are eliminations.
That's right. Consistency is key. If Spectro can do this tomorrow, we could be seeing a new qualifier joining the World Cup Finals. So Spectro, continue dominating NAWest. We want to see it. We want to continue cheering you on. Best of luck. We still have games to get into.
We still have games to get into, but before we get into those games, we are going to send it over to a very quick break, and then we'll be right back with more NAWest action. Almost said NAWest. How do you do this?
Oh, just kidding. Wait. Kitty, make mistake. We are going to more games. Pop.
I mean, first, when I got 63 points, there was still one game left, so I was kind of nervous, but I was on top of the leaderboards. So I still had the kind of calm feeling inside that I was going to qualify. And then when it qualified, it was actually such a relief. I can't even explain it. It's actually such a big achievement and something I've been working for towards like almost a year now, so it feels really good.
At first I thought I was really good at the game, but then when I started playing with like Epic Whale and all those other people, I realized that I had a lot to improve on. So realized my mistakes, looked back on my like VODs and videos that I recorded, and then I was able to improve like on those mistakes that I made, and it just helped me as a player so much, being able to get feedback from other people.
Keep practicing. It's actually a mental game. Like after their first two games, they'll get one pump, they'll get sniped, and they're just demotivated. You have to have the confidence to keep going and be like high hopes and just keep on pushing forward even when you're tilted. Like half of it's just not getting tilted in these and just keeping your mental strong and just pushing through and just performing how you know you can perform.
Yeah, when I just qualified, I really was just sitting there, and I was like actually just a surreal moment. I mean, I was like obviously really excited, but I was also kind of in shock just because like it didn't really hit that like, wow, I won $50,000 guaranteed and I'm going to New York. Like, it's just crazy. Yeah, you know, my family, they're really proud of me, obviously, but I'm only 16, so they still want me to focus on school a lot. So it's been hard balancing the two, like Fortnite and school, but I just got to keep pushing it in both, you know?
My friends are really hyped about it. My parents are really supportive, including my brother. They helped me out so many times. They gave me a PC that I can play on. And then when my stream got bigger, they gave me better specs so I can stream and play at the same time. They're just really hyped about that. I'm top 100 in Fortnite.
First off, I want to say thank you to my parents that actually believed in me. Like, I quit my job like maybe 6 months ago, and I didn't have any salary, any org, or didn't have any money. But I made it in the end. I got some money, qualified for the World Cup. It's looking great.
Thank you for everyone who believed in me, because I honestly didn't really believe in myself, but we're here. We have accomplished the final qualifiers. We were going to New York. I'm so happy. Shout out to all my fans. Shout out to my family. Shout out to all the pro players that helped me practice and my teammate. So I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you in New York. gentlemen, welcome back. It is time for our final segment of the night, the last games here on North America West. What a day of action it's been so far. These solo games, so intense. You don't have a duo that you can rely on to clutch on up or make plays. It all comes down to you making the plays you need to qualify for tomorrow. We've seen the rest of the regions completed. Now it is time for the conclusion of North America West. And well, we've got two very special casters for this one. It's Pookie Face and Zeke.
That's right. That's right, Fortnite fam. They're busting out the big guns for the tail end.
Zeke, would you say you're pumped to cast these last few games?
Pookie, that was very tacky joke.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling that we're going to flint knock this cast out of Pleasant Park.
That's what you're in for, Fortnite fam. Hope you're hanging on, because Pun Game is coming. Ball is dead. He is down. Medic. Courage, get the revive. We are hopping into games. That's right. Fortnite fam, Pun Game on fleek. You got Zeke, you got Pookie. You can call us Pookie's Face.
Pookie,
or
Zeke Face underscore, I don't know.
There you
Whatever
go.
you call us, don't call us crazy. Okay, let's take a seat here, Zeke.
Hopping in with Chance Dies. I hope he doesn't in this game and makes it pretty far.
As do I. He's got quite the interesting loadout here. It appears there's a sniper. We can't see which one. Heavy sniper takes the shot. It does not land. He is really just looking to shoot a shot here. Take a chance. See what he can pick up. 31 opponents remaining. Fifth Storm. Circle is starting to move. Feels good. Back casting with Zeke.
Oh yeah, you know, we really got the ball rolling here, getting ready to get into these games. Yeah, you know, it's game time, Pooks. I can't wait. Already won Elim over on Chance Dies. Again, hope he lives, but he's going to keep it going. Like you said, 31 players left. Remember, top 25 is that first threshold, and that's where people are trying to take to live as long as possible and make it there. Top 15, top 5, victory are all those placement thresholds, with each Elim being a single point. And of course, you've got me, Zeke, and you got Pookie on deck. So incoming puns, prepare yourselves.
I don't think the people are ready.
I don't think Maddie was ready. I think Maddie didn't quite realize what he was doing when he paired the two strongest pun leaders together. Maybe he was. Maybe this is legendary. I'm going to go with the latter.
I mean, you're going to go with the latter. I'm going to go with the stairs that were, I don't know. Okay, that
was, I believed. Okay. I was ready to save you.
You know, okay, so we have Doom Spectre here sitting at 65 points. He's got a decent loadout right now. I would like to see him have a little bit more ammo. It looks like he's getting into endgame with a blue tack. The gray are gonna try to top up with that slurp juice. Doesn't actually get it off because he does start taking shots, but is going to regroup, take the slurp just to top up that 15 health that he was missing, and throwing the stink bombs late game. I love these plays. Look at that. Takes out Prodigy aces with just 2 stink bombs, damages another. End game situations like this, Zeke, it is so important to just be trying to look for those opportunities, because look at the placement now. He's top 25.
Definitely making it top, or spec trop 25 there. You know, top spec trop 15 is the next placement threshold. We're going to see the shadow bombs come out. He's going to try and make these long rotations. I'm already killing you. You don't, listen, Pooks, we said we were going to do this. If you can't hang, you got to let me know now.
Listen, Zeke, I can hang.
We're about to find out. Spectre here with 2 Elims, going to send shots over in the direction of the player. Nothing comes through, and immediately says, it's time to shadow bomb. I want to make this rotation. Now, we're near Fatal Field, so that was, I believe, the Fork Knife that we just passed.
Definitely the Fork Knife Mine, very infamous spot just northwest of Fatal Fields. One of my favorite places to drop. Hasn't really changed so far in Season 9 too much, but new POIs definitely have been added. It's been great today to see how these players have adapted to the new POIs, new additions to Season 9. I'm loving it so far.
Listen, I love futuristic themes. I love all kinds of techno punk stuff. I'm all about it every day of the week. Spectre here going to be forced to especially rip a player from their positioning, rotate right now. We're going back into Fatal Fields over old builds, potentially. Actually, just kidding. We are not. Some of the old builds we'll be cutting into, but not too much. We see a bunch of players immediately scattering, trying to make it to safety as quickly as possible. Just look at the tracers going back and forth. A lot of these guys, they're like, look, I need to hit top 15, all right? We're about to be there. I don't want to make the mistake. I don't want to be that person that's eliminated just on the edge of it.
And who is going to be the one to sacrifice themselves to give these men the top 15 spot? It is Razzie. He goes down, taken out by legend Chris. Doom Spectre nets himself one more elimination. That brings him up to 4 so far this game with 73 points. He's doing very well for himself in these NAWest qualifying games, looking for one of 3,000 spots to take him over to tomorrow to play for a spot in New York in July.
There you go, right there. The spots for NAWest, 2 available going into the finals tomorrow. Spectro trying to find any more eliminations. We did. Now he's in top 15. This is huge. He's going to get those points. Top 5 is the next threshold. Going toe-to-toe with Uber. He is the superior transportation system right now. Spectro continuing his Doom march along here in Fatal Fields. Trying to just terrorize as much. Someone else in the box, though. He's going to go for the double trap play.
Ooh, that elimination on Cynic really putting into perspective the level of play you need to be at to hang in these lobbies, Zeke. He is putting on an absolute clinic right now for his opponents. I hope they are taking notes because they're going to have to study up.
I mean, he's really hedging his bets right now.
Is that a Bush joke?
That's a, yeah, this is like a...
That was corny.
I got it.
Fields bad, man.
Fields bad. Spectro, another elim over on Wavy Mix. Is there another one in 86 of 23? Spectro, can you do it? Please be the hero we need. Don't forget, Chance Dies, I believe, is still up in the high ground of the lobby. Maybe he's going to live. 5 players left, Pookie. Another round of placement points. Oh,
wow,
my.
that was a huge elimination on negative. I don't know if he saw the rift there. He does have 3 launch pads, but isn't going to matter because he is going just for the eliminations with that rare tactical shotgun on Epic Whale. I would have liked to see him pick up the rift there instead of the jump pads because of all the builds that are on top of him right now. He won't be able to get much use out of it, but he is going head-to-head right now with Takata. Takata falls to Spectro as well. Chance is still on ultimate high ground. Now, Doom has a little bit of a choice to make here. He's got 1 fireplace, he's got mini shields, but does he go for the elimination or does he try to out-heal? He drops Chance down. Chance takes a couple of shots, but it isn't going to matter. Unfortunately, Spectro falls to Chance.
Lives.
He lives
to fight another day.
Chance. Change your name.
Oh, man, I can't wait to hop into this next game and see what beautiful names are in store for us.
I'm so excited. It's the best. Ooh, aggro flare.
That's really aggressive of him to be up there, you know?
Yeah, just a beacon of hope in the sky, a flare in the sky, liquid scented. I mean, that's a pun in and of itself, the scented. I mean,
we were very much presented a great game here over in NAWest. 36 players left. That player taking blue damage, aka their shield. And look at the double snipes. Wait, I'm sorry. Double snipe scented? Okay, all right, I'm picking it up. You're putting it down. Wait, I'm picking it up. Are you putting it down? Am I putting? Oh, never mind. It doesn't even matter. Spartan going back to the lobby. A great elim over there. 157 to the dome piece of that player. 9 eliminations, by the way. Pookie is flabbergasted by that snipe.
You know, I have to say, Zeke, as the real Canadian sniper, I liked that one. That was nice to see. You know, it's a little bit confusing. You know, he is taking up 2 slots with those heavy snipers. It's not the worst idea, though, when you think about it. They can one-shot walls. They can one-shot heads. So, you know, you might as well have 2 of them. If you miss one, it's a quick swap to the next to shoot another wall out or to get another shot on a player. I mean, and as he's proven, his aim is true.
Listen, I want to see if we see like a double, either a double wall replace or he just like bunker bust through 2 things, I'm actually going to yell and I'm going to run away from this cast, okay?
Typically,
so just be ready to hold down the fort.
Should I just hold your arm and hold you
No,
here,
you're
or?
coming with me.
Oh,
you're so tiny that I'm just going to pull you.
Okay.
I'm like that gif of the old granny in the Great Dane when he goes running and she goes flying. Spoiler alert, I'm the Great Dane.
Oh, I'm the granny? Is that a shot of my age, Zeke?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh,
wow. Just like that. Scented drops the second heavy sniper, leaves it in his builds, opts for the shadow bombs instead, and just like Zeke, totally like backpedaling his way out of that one, and moving on to the next zone. Let's take a look up here at this platform. We have a whole bunch of players. I think they're starting to understand how strong being up on these platforms actually is. Not only do you have ultimate high ground, it cannot be shot down, it cannot be damaged, and you also have a way of getting down if you do not have mobility by means of these vents. So extremely strong positioning being up there, especially getting into late game. You can use it not only for mobility, but to conserve some mats.
I think what's cool too is that it's free for everyone to use. Like, you don't even need to go up on the highest ground. You can just hop into the little slipstream, get a little bit of a jump, and reposition. It's really awesome. And Scented already on 10 eliminations. Now he's got smokes. He's reloaded the heavy snipe.
Smokes he picked up. I'm sorry. I thought they were the shadow bombs. Okay, they were the shadow bombs.
Oh, what? Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
I said
You know what?
smokes. You know what? It's been a long day, and I'm
I'm
trying
like,
to find more
smokes are in
punts.
the
I'm
game?
looking for them. No. Those are not in the game. No.
I'm confused.
I just need to put that in my pocket.
Okay, yeah, I see that because he just eliminated Pocket.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, that was a very fluid joke that you made there. I appreciate it. But moving on, again with the heavy sniper, trying to take out the wall and no scope. Misses the player. Unfortunately, that play would have been absolutely wild had he hit it. He is using the shadow bomb again to rotate over towards the zone, possibly trying to set up shop so that he can gatekeep. Yes, that's exactly what he's doing. We have a whole bunch of players down here in balls. Zeke, top 24. Let's go.
That's right. First round of placement points on the table. One shot over on the Slinky. He will be slinking his way back down the stairs. Unfortunately, could not make it up to the top 15. Scented bonking his little noggin. He's going to continue rotating down with his little feetsies covered in ice, and he does have the smoke bomb to rotate. He's trying to just get as much time out of it as possible. He's going to continue. He's got his nose to the ground, picking up the scent of these other players. Going to continue one. Man, I thought he had a double snipe. I wish, because I'm telling you, right, we would have seen a double wall replace right there. That would have happened. Just punching through two separate walls. I would have screamed, and then like that GIF, we would have lived it.
We would have lived the gift.
Yeah.
Hashtag live the gift. Oh, jeez. All right, moving on. We have Apple down there, wavy. Everyone is super low health, below Scented right now. If he can capitalize on that, and if he can really track these players through their builds while they're trying to tunnel below him, and he is doing that, he is going to be able to add more eliminations to the 12 that he already has, the 61 points. And just like that, he takes out Flare Zeke. That is elimination number 13 for Scented so far. He is certainly on the trail of his opponents here, not even taking a moment to fully shield himself. Oh, there he is. There he goes. He edited that wall and looked, because you know what? 50 from the Siphon is way better than 25 from the Mini, but it doesn't matter. He's back up to 180 health with that shot on Avil.
He is just going ham right now. A pickup over there on Cracks. He's at 15 eliminations, finding himself in top 10. Four more players. As I'm speaking, the lobby is dwindling, and he's just continuing his onslaught right now. More shots going out. Nothing is connected. Down to 8. 3 more. He's looking up. He doesn't even care. Wall replace. The player is trying to get themselves to safety. A nice ramp there. Ballers are just trying to fracture builds left and right. Polar Snipe goodbye. This is insane. Scented is an absolute monster. And look, he even finds someone using a rift to go, and now he's going to just dive down. He's like, look, I got the reposition exactly what I want. Let me challenge this high ground, potentially.
Is he going to go for it? That's the question. Unfortunately,
I think he...
mistake there.
Yeah, I think he didn't quite commit. I think at the end he was like, yes,
he
no.
hesitated. Yes. You could see definitely that he did hesitate. Played an amazing game. Ended up with 16 eliminations that game. So regardless, I mean, that's 16 points plus placement. So he's going to have himself 21 points that game. That is still a very reputable game for him. We have Neo at the top, taking all the zone damage. He isn't going to make it out, unfortunately. It looks like Regulator is going to be the one who takes this. Zeke!
Man, just absolutely regulating the game, making sure that he was #1. Now, he only picked up the 1 elim. Okay, so an 11-point game. You would have liked to see more eliminations, but listen, the 11 points hitting the board for you, it's still going to be enough to launch you up the leaderboard. And who knows, he might make it to finals, and then that's when he's going to break out the big guns.
Exactly. All of this is just preparation for tomorrow's games. NAWest definitely bringing it today. We find ourselves over here in Pleasant Park. The next zone will be moving over to the eastern side of Pleasant. No kind of changes in terrain or anything like that. So it looks like EXO here is going to try and start building up. Taking high ground in this situation is probably for the best, considering, you know, you have a lot of very flat ground that the players are going to have to rotate into. And if you can be the one that has ultimate high ground first, we've seen how that's played out for players in the past.
That's right. Let's check out what Broom is up to right now.
Is he going to go for the clean sweep on his opponents? We're going to have to wait to see. Sitting at 40 points, he has 2 eliminations right now. Decent setup. Look at this. Heavy sniper, double drum gun. I love this loadout so much. This has Pookie loadout written all over it. Personally, when I am going to be playing Season 9, this is the kind of loadout I am going to be looking to run. The drum gun is just so strong, especially if you have full capacity in both of your magazines. That's 100 shots that you're able to put into your opponents, and you're not going to be wasting any because you have that heavy sniper to break through walls.
We might see right here, punching through, immediately invades a 28-26. They try to go for the wall re-edit rather, and they were immediately punished for it. And now Broom is just going to try and sweep the competition away. They try to edit themselves to safety, and Broom is just continuing the fire. It's coming through. Again, you talked about it, the double. That was
Aiden! That was Aiden! What did I say? I said this loadout was perfect for Season 9. The meta has definitely shifted. Aiden, unfortunately, was not able to keep up those builds, not able to do anything against the pressure that Broom was applying, but there he goes. Oh no, Bops was able to get into his 1x2 that he had there, recognized that he was probably low from fighting Aiden, made a really good decision by hopping in there just to finish him off. So, wow, I just want to talk about my psychic skills on reading that situation before it happened. That never happened, so I'm really going to sit here and relish in this moment while you take it away and let us know what else is happening.
They don't call you Pookie Damas for nothing, okay? You see in the future, you read the minds. That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
There you go. 23 over on the player with the SMG coming out. Kytrix's loadout, it's a little sparse, honestly. No drum gun.
Sparse? He's got an RPG.
I mean,
Zeke.
yes, but he's only got the 5
Loads.
rockets, so we'll have to see how, in your opinion, do you think that the rocket is a utility weapon or it is just a weapon?
It's a weapon.
Okay.
I'm siding with Sundown on this
Listen,
one.
you guys are crazy.
No.
It's utility explode, okay? Listen. I might be wrong on this. I don't know. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup.
Let us know.
Do you think that the rocket launcher is a utility explode or is it a straight up weapon? Use that hashtag. Let us know. We'll take a look after the broadcast. Parker gets eliminated there. It's back to lobby for him. And look, he just picks up even more ammo. 1 smoke bomb left. He's going to have, I wish he'd used the wall there just to bounce, get a little more time. Oh, someone just saved
him. He just got exactly what he wanted there. Zeke, we are nailing these calls before they even happen. You know what? Let's start putting these to the test. You know, I have a feeling that Kytrix is live. He's at one point going to shoot his RPG.
Okay, yeah. And then he is potentially going to pick up an elimination afterward.
Okay, and he might use a mini at one point.
But primarily, he's probably going to rely on the drum gun and pick up several eliminations.
Okay, so if all of that happens, we need you guys to let us know. If you see anything that we missed, let us know if we are right in our predictions. Solid predictions,
That
in
would
my
mean
opinion.
that if you were right, you also have the gift, so we should all hang out because we all have the gift.
Yeah.
Here we go, though. Is it going to happen? Kytrix live. Is he going to pop a mini? The drum gun, 1 elimination. I said several. Okay. Several. My goodness, I predicted the future. Now wait, is he going to pop
Is he gonna use the mini?
Okay, wait, he's first going to use more smoke bombs to reposition. I like this. Now keep in mind, his health is low, so Pookie called out he's going to use a mini.
Oh.
I got up and walked away. How did we do
Out of here, Zeke!
I'm walking around the studio right now. You cannot see this.
He just got another elimination. More smoke bombs as well. You know what? I'm going to say he gets 5 eliminations in total.
Wow, that is, you are using up all the juice right now.
We're just going to go out there. We might as well. I mean, go big or go home, right?
I agree.
We have Relentless here with Ricky climbing right above him, actually, using his builds to get into his 1v1, 1-by-1. Relentless, unfortunately, not able to come out of that engagement. Ricky takes it from him, is taking a couple of shots here. You hear the traps going off below him. Those definitely were not Ricky, so he's going to have to be a little bit careful here, seeing how he's going to be moving through, but it looks as though the traps are going to be left behind. We still have a bunch of players down at the low ground. Kytrex is still down there. He has still survived. How many eliminations does he have?
5? Interesting.
Oh.
That is exactly what you predicted. Will he pick up more, though? He's effectively 85 HP. He needs his Simon to come through. That's one. Someone's in the baller on your left. Just crack the baller. Just fight this man point blank. Or just, you know what? I predicted he was actually going to run away from it. That's what I predicted. I forgot to say. I'm sorry. The onslaught continues. Kytrex is poised right now to just live his best life and win this game. This is insane.
He is on an absolute tear. You know what? Maybe he gets 5 eliminations here. The number 5 was just coming through to me. I really, you know what? He had 5. Maybe he gets another 5. I don't know.
You know, we'll have to see, but maybe. We're not exactly sure. The signal, the signs are a little hazy, but we'll have to see. 27 on that player as they are dropping low. KNG Alex, shut down. We predicted this. Oh, God. We're frauds. Huh? Okay. That's okay.
No, we can recover. We can recover.
Dieso is going to fall. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
There,
Yeah,
we're back.
And we nailed it. Okay, Dieso just falls to the actual storm, making it really easy for Alex to pick up that victory royale, rather. 2 eliminations, 50+ points for him.
Gosh,
Congratulations. It's like Neo tilted, but better because it's more abstract. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Sometimes when I look at these fossils, as Sundown likes to call them, you know, I get, you know, reminiscent of original Tilted Towers, but I like the metal, the wood. It's very aesthetically appealing to me. Here we have Jay Cuddy, my boy Jay Cuddy. What's up? Got the chance to hang out with him a little bit at the Secret Skirmish. Super nice guy, really like him. Also really good player, should probably talk about that as opposed to, you know, his personality.
Just a great overall human being.
But just a good human, like this human. So we're seeing him make a quick rotation over here, moving in towards Salty Springs to join his fellow opponents on this eastern side of the zone that is currently closing in. Currently sitting at 46 points, so he isn't doing too badly. Not 100% sure what the threshold is going to be for these players playing on NAWest to make it into tomorrow's games, but 46 does not look too shabby.
Yeah, I mean, again, just picking up more eliminations.
Yeah,
Jay Cuddy is saying you wanted more points, Pookie. I am also Cuddy
knew.
Damos. So here's another one.
He knew we were
You can hear
watching.
what we were saying. Yep. We'll have to see if he can pick up more eliminations. Let's check out what Triggy is doing right now. I'd be curious to see what his elimination count is. It is 4, and again, double drum guns. The Rift to go as well. This guy's rocking utility. This is something I called out specifically, and this is probably going to be what I do that leads more to my playstyle, is run 2 weapons and 3 utility slots.
You know, it's definitely not a bad idea. Currently in this meta, we have, you know, the drum gun coming in, being super effective at close to medium range. And, you know, I've seen you hit good shots, Zeke, so maybe you running 2 drum guns and the 3 utility, definitely not bad. But if we play duos, I'm going to have to say, I'm going to need you to hold some heals for me. You can be...
Yeah.
You be like the support.
I'll be the support, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll protect you.
I'm a support who can't really build, but I can hit shots when it matters, and I'll get you on the revive, and I'll pick up your card every time. Don't even worry about it.
I've seen it happen. Here we have the Bears.
No, that's very clearly asleep and then a Bears. It wakes up saying a Bears.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
Okay. Didn't know that. So asleep a Bears here. Not looking sleepy at all with these edits. Very quick, showing off here, showing, you know, he is in full control and just mechanically very, very gifted. Hopping into that structure there, the environmental structure, to pick up a little bit of additional ammo, give himself a little bit of cover, and is moving his way through over to the zone, looking like he is on relative high ground here.
So if you watch, he actually used ramps there to save mats. Okay, listen, Bears or asleep Bears.
This is
Bears. That was
high IQ play.
Yeah, that was insane. You very rarely see that.
You barely see that. So you know, what he was doing there, just to iterate that point a little bit more, instead of building a full enclosure, so a 1x1 with a roof and a pyramid on top, he knew that really there weren't very many players above him, so he could just use stairs. So as opposed to using 50 or 60 mats per block to move forward, he was effectively only using 30 or 40, so that helped him immensely there. We have Sikaros here taking out kicks, just really running into the 1x1 and not caring at all, asserting dominance all over him. And look at this, 13 RPGs in his inventory. So we're going to have to see if he ends up taking ultimate high ground and just raining down with those.
Now keep in mind, guys, top 15. We got another round of placement points. 5 is the next threshold. So we're going to see the game slow down just a little bit because you want to make sure to hit top 5. Those extra 2 points could be huge, especially if you're catching players with their backs to the storm, picking up elims along the way. Don't forget, every elim is a point as well. We're going to see Sikaros, okay, complete 360, and more shots going out. Broom gets swept away in all of the chaos. Sikaros continuing with his reign of terror. 4 eliminations right now. Plenty of builds to get him through, and there's loot there on the left. Maybe he's going to go for it, maybe not. I think he maybe is like, this just doesn't feel safe. I feel comfortable backing up. Again, I like his minimalistic builds here. Very nice. A player gets dropped, nothing connects. That was so close. He would have basically clipped a headshot there. He's going to go down in the build. Shots are going now. Triggy gets sent back to the lobby. 5 eliminations for Sikaros right now.
Unbelievable plays there. Now, I predicted that he was going to try to go up above to high ground to utilize that RPG, but he is showing that it can be just as effective on low ground as well. We have Herbly dropping down, not taking any fall damage on that, so that's great. But we have these players very split up. But look at the zone. It is coming back over that ridge. Sikaros is going to have to make some quick plays here to move over. Zeke, what is going on? There's so many things happening.
All of the chaos is ensuing and unfolding before us as Herbly rejoins everyone from the stratosphere. We see someone going up. That is Zabears. I'm sorry, I wish I knew exactly how to pronounce your name. He's got 3 limbs taking the high ground. Herbly just trying to lay down shots from up above, saying, no, sir, I don't fall asleep up there, or do fall asleep so I can eliminate you. Now Sikaros is in a different position, right? He's gonna have to fight Lux down below, who's in the shadow. He catches them while invisible. Now he does not pick up the elimination. He popped their shield, and now 3 players are down in the lowest ground. This is gonna go absolutely insane. Herbly dropped down into critical. He had 3 HP. He's back up to 53 because of the siphon. Pookie, this is absolutely insane. Bears up top. I mean, this is his game to win. He's going to waterfall back down. Look at the health advantage. Herbly is also taking storm damage. He needs to be really careful. If Bears just waits this out, he's going to get this victory out, or he can go full send. He's going to go drop it.
Wow, Zeke. That is the issue with this, is, you know, you get to these final zones and these players don't know how much health the other players have. So you have to make a very quick split-second decision. Do I heal up, or do I drop down, or do I try to just outlast my opponent in terms of taking ticks from the storm? What do you do? In that case, it ended up working out for him, but had he just waited up top for 1 more tick from the storm, that game still would have ended with a victory royale in his favor. Here we have more games. We have clients here. Clients. Haven't heard of clients.
Yeah, me neither. Clients. We're gonna go with that. Sorry if we pronounce your name wrong. Just you know, hit us with a nice little tweet. Say, hey, at ZekeMissPrime, at PookieFace_, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. This is how you say my name. And we'll make sure we get that taken care of for you, because we want to make sure we celebrate with you and give you that moment. Right now, Klein sitting on no eliminations. He's got the flint knock, though. You know me. I like to see the plays, so maybe he'll make some things happen. Nolo is a cutie. That's just a fact of life. Apparently, we were being, displayed there for us. 28 players remain. Top 25 is the first placement threshold. Now, Clients knows there's someone behind him. That's why he's walling himself off, just making sure this player doesn't catch him off guard. He's going to try and trick him out, but they're already gone. So he's going to try and follow up. I like this, using old builds, because they're not going to see it coming. A 42 on the player at 27, and damage comes through. Graz gets sent back, but now look, this is a metal wall keeping him out.
Oh,
this
no.
could be really bad. You'd have to keep finding the angle. Nice. Get yourself up a little bit. Oh, look, he's still tracking the player.
He's still looking
Clients,
for players
what?
behind him.
How are you?
Yes. You could see him turn as he came up that ramp. He knew that there was going to be a player coming out. He knocks him out of the storm. Additional damage. He took zone damage, Zeke. That is how Carnalite ended up dying. He absolutely just took zone damage because of the flint knock. Is that the play you wanted to see? Did that knock your socks off, Zeke? Because that's what you got.
That was insane. That was. I didn't know who Clients was before the 30 seconds ago. I know who you are now. You were on my radar. Gen G's Madison, I know up for a fact Kitty Plays is probably freaking out that we see Madison up in here as well. Now, Clients, listen, reload the flint knock. Let's see some more plays. We need to be in tune. I need to see more of your stuff. Now, keep in mind, he's got no builds at all, Pooks. This is going to be really difficult. He needs to make a very smart and effective pick right now. He basically needs to find an elimination, pick up their stuff fast, and box himself because he's going to draw attention. Someone right in front. Oh my God! Point blank flint knock. He continues. Look at this. He's going on the offensive. Finds Flash.
Wow. Zeke?
I don't even know what I'm witnessing anymore. Client's continuing. This is insane. He bonks his head. It's going to be okay. He's going to go back out and reposition. I like this. He took a little bit of storm damage for it, but it's going to be okay. What a crazy situation. Unfortunately, he's not picked up more builds, but he still has a flint knock.
He has one build left, Zeke, so we're going to have to see how he chooses to utilize that. There are players above him. There are players below him. There are players maybe even on the same level as him. We still have 13 players remaining in this lobby. There's like, oh my goodness, he went for that shot. Unfortunately, missed it on Jarvis, who is going to end up saying, you know what, I'm not a fan of the flint knock. I don't want to be knocked out into the storm. I'm just gonna, you know, see my way out over here. But he is still, unfortunately, not able to pick up any more eliminations, but was definitely on a tear. And you love to see the flint knock plays. They're always exciting to watch. We see Frankie on top.tv, only with 43 health, still being super hyper aggressive. Looking into the builds, does pick up the elimination on Jarvis. That was a huge
There's another one! Oh, and he could not convert it. Clive in there picking up the elimination. The lobby is just dwindling. We're down to almost top 5 right now. We got Booney coming down, Eora, Dotback, Clyfin, Strip, and Brian G all still left alive. But look at this, Dotback. He's got one elimination, he's got the smokes, and he has the rocket launcher, Pooks.
He has the rocket launcher. Explodes. Let's go. He has the 5 shadow bombs. Let's take a look and see how he's going to utilize this. A ton of builds still going into these final zones. Anything over 500, you're pretty good for. So we're going to have to see how he utilizes these. Only 5 other opponents he's going to have to worry about right now. Utilizing the pyramids, utilizing the peaks, utilizing his edits to the point where he's not going to hear. He's got to watch his back. Dot back. Watch your back. So he's got to really hunker down now. He's got those 2 big shields. He may have time to actually pop one of those off after he takes care of this player. The strip does fall to him. Is he going to go for the shield? He is not. He is instead going to go for the shadow bomb, leaving himself extremely vulnerable. He has one other opponent who he's going to knock down.
Oh,
he lifted.
Okay, it's a 1v. That scared me senseless. It's a 1v1. So he just has to look up. This player is coming down. A 26. He lands up on top. There you go.
Wow.
That's all he needed to do. Was he saw the player go up. They came down. They took a bunch of storm damage. He just needed to send a shot over there to crack shields. You love to see it, Pooks. That was so much fun. The pun game was on fleek. Courage. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good was our puns? And you are not allowed to go below 9.
It was a 10?
Perfect.
Oh,
great. I was not forced into that at all. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in throughout the day. Thank you so much to both of you for a fantastic cast. But guess what? The action is done for right now. We obviously still have tomorrow's action to come. We're going to go to a very quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show with the full leaderboards and more. Stay tuned.
What's up, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and we're gonna take a look at 3 of the undisputed best Fortnite Battle Royale players in the world. These 3 players have become the first in history to qualify for both the solos and duos competition at the Fortnite World Cup Final. The first 2 are hailing from the European region. E11 Stompy and Energy Benji Fishy have shown that they are the best of the best, with back-to-back incredible performances in the first 2 online open qualifiers, while Misfits Clicks was able to secure qualification in weeks 2 and 3 with insanely aggressive performances. We'll start by taking a look at Stompy and telling you a little bit about him. The Austrian has been around the competitive scene for a decent amount of time, originally going by Stompy FTW. He'd always been just on the outside looking in as far as most people were concerned when looking at the EU competitive scene, but he knew he was among the best. The online cups really brought him into the spotlight, with a pair of top 10 finishes in both solos and duos before the qualifiers even started. He placed 8th in the first Gauntlet Cup for solos and then jumped all the way up to 2nd in the Blackheart Cup. For duos, him and Tashinkin were able to secure 9th and 7th places in the Scallywag and Lux Cups. Stompy has since cemented himself as one of the 2 players to watch at the finals from Europe, with an absolutely dominant solo performance where he racked off a number of high elimination matches and solid placements. He was able to take home the #1 spot. He is particularly efficient at picking up rifle eliminations in the late to mid-game rotation, punishing players who aren't a step ahead like he is. But Stompy wasn't done after his solo qualification. Him and E11 Tashinkin were able to take home the 3rd place spot the very next week. Their 92 points over 10 matches were 7 points clear of the cutoff, placing them firmly into the top 3 and making them a duo to watch at the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Energy Benji Fishy has really burst into the competition as one of the most consistent and aggressive players in the game. He started coming onto the scene very early on, but didn't have any amount of spotlight until the past few months. Benji was a part of the young European lords on the rise, and people were forced to take notice of the youngster from the UK. A lot of this attention was drawn particularly from his repeated consistent cup performances. His solo placings were 6th, 13th, 8th, and 13th before the solo open qualifier, and his duo placings in region were 18th, 6th, and 1st before repeating his first place performance with his energy duo Mr. Savage M. Benji's gameplay largely focuses on just being better than his opponents and executing slightly faster. He's always the first to hit his shots, always the first to take the high ground when challenging, always the first to get the correct edit, and he strives to make sure he keeps an advantage whenever he gets it. With a 3rd place in the first solo qualifier and a 1st place in the first duo qualifier, he has certainly risen to another level. While the 2 Europeans were the first to claim the feat, Misfits' most recent signing, Clicks, has been a star on the rise since the Arena and Cups format were implemented. Making some flashy plays on broadcast, Clicks was able to secure 20th in the Blackheart Cup before completely upsetting the standard in the qualifiers. In week 2, Clicks and his Misfits duo Skeptic were able to secure 2nd place overall in NAWest, edging out a number of top teams in the final few games. Then, in week 3, Clicks stormed out to a decent lead on Sunday, but wrapped up all of his games early, forcing him to play the waiting game as the final matches finished. His 63 points were good enough for 7th, but with week 1 solo qualifier dubs taking the 6th spot, he earned the last qualification from NAWest. This made him the first dual qualifier to come out of North America and cemented him as one of the names to watch at the final. This feat is not to be understated. All 3 of these players have been able to earn themselves a spot in both the solo and duo competition at the Fortnite World Cup Final, showing that they are one of the best Fortnite Battle Royale players in the world for both game types. The hours of practice and dedication have paid off, and they'll get a chance to compete for their piece of the $30 million prize pool. Who else will we see join them? Will Top Faxbox and Banny be able to grab a duo spot to become another double qualifier? Can W7M Nix continue his absurd performance and book himself a solo trip to the World Cup? Will someone else in North America be able to match this incredible feat from Clicks? Who else will be able to build their way up to the top and be joining these three at the Fortnite World Cup Finals?
These kids are crazy talented, man. Oh my goodness, it's so hard to keep up with them, but it's awesome. You know, even though I'm older, I can still keep up. You know, I have like a lot of extra experience. I've been playing games for a lot longer than they have. It's about like getting myself in the right headspace to want to improve. You know, after I've gone to the gym for an hour and a half, I always feel like I can sit down and play games for a long period of time. You know, if I don't do that physical aspect, then sometimes I feel like I have a bit of pent up energy, or maybe I feel a bit lazy. I always think of the best strats and the best things that we can do to improve when I'm at the gym, because it's just the best place to have my mind wander. And I really need that, especially being, you know, a competitive gamer or a streamer. You don't get a lot of that kind of downtime. It is very mentally active, so it's really important for me physically and mentally to do that. Even the best players with bad mindset will not go very far. It's all about how you approach it. You need to play purely with the mindset of trying to improve, which means taking responsibility for all of your mistakes. Don't blame the game. Don't blame how other people play. Take full responsibility. Think about how you could have done it better and work on your weaknesses. It's all about mindset. The most important thing to look for isn't necessarily what's in the fight. So a lot of people will say, like, oh, I died because my pump didn't do as much damage, or because he had more traps than me, or something like that. You have to take a step back and you have to look at what happened to get into the fight. So like, you might have rotated into somebody who had 2 traps in the late game. It's a moving zone, but you need to look before that and you say, how could I have rotated better to avoid the fight in the first place? Because those kind of rotations, those ways that you can avoid those unfavorable scenarios, that's how you're going to be consistent. I'm super looking forward to New York and the rest of the week at the qualifiers. Good luck to everyone who's playing. Remember, you do have multiple chances, but the most important thing is to visualize yourself winning. Visualize the success and visualize what it looks like to get to that success. I'm keen to see who else is going to be coming to New York from OC and from other regions as well. It's going to be super awesome.
Welcome back, Fortnite fam. Thank you so much for putting up with our shenanigans. Hope you enjoyed all the pun games. It's been a long day. You know, gotta let off some steam. How else than puns? Shout outs to you, Pooks. Yeah, I'm Zeke. You know, we're here for the final bit, the final little last leg of the show before signing off for the day. Of course, we had to bring the entire crew because, man, it's been quite the day. Now, you know, obviously, you guys have been excited. We've asked a lot of you as far as social media goes today. So we'll take a look at some of the things that you guys have thrown up there. An excitement qualifying for tomorrow. You know, we've got, here you go. Who wants to read one?
I guess the best way to kick off my first Mother's Day weekend is Fortnite. Yes, Jamie.
There you go. There you go. Pooks, why don't you give one?
Can't wait for tomorrow's finals. You and I both, Crafty.
Oh,
there you go.
yes.
Very easy. Very easy. You guys have taken the social media. And again, you know, you guys are always putting up with our shenanigans. We really do appreciate it, especially the pun game. Your pun game was strong.
Yeah, it was.
I appreciate it. Every time you guys use that hashtag, makes me a little happier inside. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. It really does. I really do appreciate having the community talk about stuff. It's cool. I really enjoy it. Now, what you guys have been waiting for, the NAWest standing. Sorry, I had to correct myself there for just a moment. Let's take a look together at the wall. Sitting at the top right now is Spectro with a commanding 93 points.
That's ridiculous.
0 victory royales, by the way. 0 victory royales. Sundown.
How does he do it?
Sundown, how does he do that? That's my question.
I mean, you can see how he does it right here, looking at the elim column, right? Dropping 48 points worth of elims going through there. And let's actually take a look at his full match history to see kind of a breakdown of all of it. So first of all, the one thing that stands out to me, we talked about kind of some of the not so great games that he had. Even like his worst game, right, would be these two, the 69th and the 55th. Still worth 2 points, so not awful, and also right at the end there. But one thing I do want to note, he was so far ahead. This is 3 points he could have got if he had won the match. This is another 3 points he could have got if he won the match. Another 3, another 3, another 3, another 3. Like, he left a ton of potential points on the table, was the only player on that board to not secure victory royale, and was still blazes ahead of everyone else. Like, any match that wasn't one of these early ones, he was in the top 25, so getting at least the 3 points. And every other one, he was in the top 5. That is nuts for consistency.
Absolutely.
Like, absolutely nuts.
Now, don't forget, guys, this is for qualifying purposes. Tomorrow is finals. So if you're not familiar with this region, these are a few names you can take a look at. I mean, listen, Courage, we've had a great day. Anyone on this list right now stand out to you as, like, you know?
Listen, the only person we watched today that used a double flint knock was FaZe Jarvis. He's top 10. That's 1 for 1. Literally 1 for 1. So looks like the strategy's working. We watched Reciprocity Trig earlier on in the day. Man's an absolute beast. Another name that has been consistent across many BR games in the past, and then now, obviously, to hear Prodigy Aces. Man's an absolute beast. Been a fan of his for years, and it's great to see him now in the top 5.
There you go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for the standings. Very quickly, there's someone in the community that Sundown wanted to talk to. So, Sundown, why don't you send us over to this person?
Thank you so much, Zeke. Yeah, so we're going to phone in somebody who I've been a big fan of his breakdown, some of his endgame casts, takes some of the custom matches, takes some of the weekends when we weren't live. He was doing some of the breakdowns. So we're going to be joined here by Showager. Shai, are you there, my man?
Hi, how are you guys?
Hey.
Good, man. How are you?
Hello.
Good, hi.
Doing fantastic. So you got to see all of the matches today, and we got to talk to you a little bit beforehand. I asked you a question. What do you think we'll start seeing out of some of these end game loadouts from the best of the best players? And I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
All right, so like it was hinted at a little bit by Courage, the JD strat, the double up on flint knocks, but it's been doubled up on other items too. So you've got doubles on minis by some people in the EU region, such as Savage. We've got doubles on heavy snipers by Scented in the West region. And it just allows for that surprise factor that just pops in. No one expects it in solos to get double heavy sniped or, you know, take a 180 flint knock to the head. So there's a lot of different adaptability things that happen, as well as one gun loadouts, which allow for like 4 different utility slots in the game. You have people with redeploy jumping off with impulses. A lot of people are looking to recycle utility, but that utility is not there anymore as it's in people's inventory as items. So it's a big change, more people left alive, healthier people, a very different type of end game and different shots being taken end game all throughout, you know, the zones, 7th to 8th to 9th.
Awesome, man. And sure, we've seen a lot of different applications of that utility. And one big topic we've seen throughout the course of the community and the cast is the differences between the TAC and the combat shotguns. What are your thoughts in terms of ideal use cases for those and why players pick one over the other?
So it's all about playstyle and how people actually approach the game and certain fighting instances. With the tactical shotgun, anyone who's kind of like a psycho who likes to go into people's boxes and get those easy, quick one-tap pumps will love having the tactical shotgun, getting right up in your face, you know, stopping the Tommy gun spray, hitting quick 150s over and over. The combat, on the other hand, is all about getting that peak, making sure other people are making errors, you know, 3 tiles away, hitting a 70, repositioning, and then quick 2-tapping once again. So they're both very different playstyle guns. And of course, you know, you might find one at the start of the game and then have to carry your whole playstyle to that gun itself. And at the same time, even though those both shotguns exist in the game, you see people running like double Tommies, you know? Shotgun's not the only thing now that's the most prevalent, the most pivotal item in the game at the moment.
Nice, great breakdown there on the differences. And so last thing, we're gonna ask you, one player to keep an eye on can be from any of the regions. Who's somebody who either surprised you today or you think might be qualifying tomorrow?
So the one player that I think to keep an eye on for the moment, the person who's kind of ahead of the curve right now would be Epic Whale on West. I watched a couple of his games on a bunch of other people's streams. This guy's just really clean with the edits, adapting very well when he's getting back, his back's up against the wall as well. He's been popping off. He's going to keep popping off. And he's just producing the top of the line type of adaptability content for the moment. So I think he's going to be the one to watch in these coming weeks.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Shai. Always a treat. The analysis and the breakdown was fantastic. I'm sure we'll be talking to you at some other point, my man.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night, and I'll be tuning in tomorrow as well.
Hey,
have a good one.
Hey, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got one more thing before we go, and again, we're going to throw it over to Sundown for a call to action.
Yes, so again, we've seen great Battle Royale action all day today, and that's only going to be one segment at the Fortnite World Cup. We also have the Fortnite World Cup creative qualifiers going on. Those